just received in our newspaper.
Have you ever seen the Car Jitsu shit?
I haven't, no.
You never seen it? Rain, let's pull it up.
I'll have to check it out.
No, we're gonna pull it up right now. Watch this shit.
It's the beauty of the internet, man. It's instant.
It's instant, dude. Car Jitsu. Let's pull up a video for Mr. fucking Noah here. See, could you imagine doing this
So it's jujitsu
in a car?
in a car.
Yeah, dude. Look how cool these.
But like
are.
I said, like the guy in the driver's seat, major disadvantage.
Yeah, no, it is. If you have that steering wheel, look at this shit. You gotta turn up that TV. Where's the fucking remote?
Probably on your table with all their remotes.
Oh, it's up. Oh, oops.
Good area to focus on is using the CPAP, but more importantly, learning how.
Look at this shit, dog.
That is wild.
How do you defend when someone's choking you with a seatbelt?
I don't know.
With their
dude.
full body weight on your chest.
My friends
I
prevent
feel
me
like
from
you'd have to throw a
drink and
knee
drive.
up. I throw a knee
That's
up.
a knee or something. You got to do something.
That's an elbow.
Them fighting to get the keys out of my hand.
Space under a steering wheel. Even the steering wheel.
Bring a certain blood alcohol content.
Dude, that guy's like, he was in the ceiling of the car. Oh, shit. He's not even letting him get the belt off.
Cram your bad guy into the
This is actually wild, dude.
car. Being the
I've been there.
A lot of people don't like confined spaces.
Especially not fucking jujitsu in a car.
What is going on there? Oh, he's already got him on the back.
use the seats and the crevices.
Dude, like these people are just wearing like regular clothes.
These dudes are in jeans.
I'm just in my work clothes,
It's
right?
like it's not even like a gi or like a gym clothes. Like,
The limitations of being in a
no, this person's wearing a gi now. Yeah,
you still have the
like even this. Like, look at the seatbelt, dude. He was
Just choking him out with a seatbelt.
He's like, hey, let me just do it. Tie a knot real quick.
Tie a knot with a belt.
Bro, that's
belt.
like Russia just does a bunch of shit like that. They do shit like this, and then they also do. Bro, I'll watch like fight conferences, and it's like just them smacking the shit out of each other.
Tell me the bear fighting's not interesting, though.
The bare knuckle fighting.
Oh,
The Russians just fighting bears.
Oh, fighting bears. Oh,
Yeah,
you're
I
talking
mean,
about-
training
bro.
season.
Training season. That's our training. Man.
Wait, is that not how you train for security? You're not fighting bears?
It's all natural, buddy.
Oh, shit. Shit.
That's
Comes
all
with the
natural.
instincts.
Just a couple pumps, a couple weeks.
Like, I
Gotta
don't
get a pump on.
No, because I don't want to hurt the bear.
I didn't know you work security, homeboy.
Anyway, so yeah, if you guys want to hear a couple stories, I'll let you know about security.
Yeah,
What's
tell me what
that?
security's been
What's
like.
like the worst one?
So I'll be honest. I was working at Blanche. I worked at Wild Child. I worked all downtown, pretty much all lit.
Yeah.
But
Did they
Get
hire
this
you or
story.
just walk up?
I'll be honest. I walked up. I was ready to get drunk the one night, and they're like, "Yo, you want to work tonight?" And I'm like, "I'm getting lit." And they're like, "No, you're working." I was like, "All right,
Fuck it.
fuck it."
That's money for tomorrow.
It's money for tomorrow to go drink, right? But I was working at Blanche, and the thing is with Blanche, it's all like Detroit rappers coming in. I got Toronto rappers coming down. Got guys in ski masks and buffs all night. So I'm looking around. I'm just like, I'm a white guy. I'm like, so the one night I get in a brawl. My manager's walking around, and pretty much they're like, "Here, Moose, come in." They all just clear a wave. The big Moose coming through. The guy swung on me, grabbed him in the headlock, threw him in a guillotine, and I was just like walking through the aisle. You know the way Blanche, it's nice and narrow.
Yeah.
Pretty much I was going through. Bam! Look back, get smashed with a bottle, fucking like on the side of my head. Luckily, it was a plastic bottle, but I look back at her and I go, "Your cousin's leaving, and you're about to leave too." I come back, my shirt's all ripped. I got a rip down from like my neck all the way down to like my belly. I get downstairs and they're like, "I respect you, man." I was like, "I'm just getting paid, just like you guys are getting lit."
We're all here for a reason, brother.
We are all here for one reason. That's just to get high and get drunk, right?
At least it was only a plastic bottle, man.
If I was
Yeah.
glass, I was going to the hospital for sure right after that. I mean, honestly, I probably would have walked out, but they probably would have said, "You need to
We
calm
needed to
down,
go
Moose."
somebody.
Why did you have to throw that guy out?
Honestly, it's because he was starting a fight with my manager. My manager started talking shit. That's how it always starts. It escalated, and then I was just like, I tell them all the time, I was like, my issue is with the bar, you're playing Chief Keef at 1:45. Tell me that.
That can't be the mood at the
That
end
is
of the
not
night.
the mood.
That's not end of night mood.
You got to change that to Bob Marley, you know?
Calm everyone the fuck
Calm
down.
it down a
some
bit.
bitches
Calm
down.
it down. But they're playing Don't Like at like 1:45. And I was just like, you realize I got guys off 3 bottles of Hennessy before this point.
Yeah.
They know the night's ending.
They know the night's ending, but
You can't
they
hype them
wanna
up
keep it
even
going.
more
You can't.
before just sending them out on the streets.
No.
It's kind of what you do, though.
Yeah, and then another story. It was actually I wasn't working the one time. I was at Bull and Barrel just drinking. Only drank a couple. It was funny. There was a crowd of guys, and I waved down this guy working 3 times before I hopped in. I didn't even have a security shirt on at the time, but they know I know every security guy down there,
Yeah.
so I'm just me doing my thing, helping out, right?
Yeah.
The guy comes around. Elbows the guy in the back of the head. I grabbed the one kid. I was like, "Get the fuck out!"
And you're just some regular guy.
I picked him up, and he's like, "Who are you?" I was like, "Don't worry about it. You need to leave."
Especially when you pick them up.
Yeah, I picked him up, and then I went back, grabbed another kid because it was like 3-on-1. I was like, "That is the dirtiest way to fight in a
That's
fight."
fucking rude, man.
Yeah, but
Like,
that's how people fight now.
You're going to like my security had 3-on-1. He elbowed the back of the head, grabbed that kid, came back, and I was like, "This is why you need to get guys that pay attention with security. Security is very important when it comes to downtown.
Yeah.
Downtown Windsor is a crazy environment.
I feel
Like, it really
any
is.
bar scene is
Any
gonna be
bar
fucking
scene is
man.
crazy, right? Like guys, they're just getting drunk. It's guys getting emotions
Guys getting
mixed
drunk.
in.
I think ours is a little worse though because Detroit's right there. And
Detroit, so we
you
got
know
border
those
guys coming
motherfuckers.
over.
They're coming across. They can't drink at home, so this is like the biggest celebration they're gonna have for a while.
Exactly.
and they get fucking turned.
They
here,
get
man.
fucking turned.
They get
up.
turned up. Especially like guys from Toronto, they'll come down. It's so much cheaper to drink down in Windsor than Toronto.
Oh, I believe that.
Toronto, you're buying,
100%.
you're spending $600, $700 for a bottle in Toronto. It's like $200 to $300 in Windsor.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? They're getting 3
Even
times
that
the
though,
amount.
even that's expensive. Like for a bottle.
Yeah, $200 a
bottle,
bottle,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
One bottle.
That's why you should just bring one yourself.
Yeah. Just bring a flask, right?
Or pregame.
3 flasks down the hips.
Pregame
every
hard
time.
as shit. Dude, I remember like with the guys I'd pregame with, we'd finish like a bottle before we go down, just so like we didn't have to.
And for some reason, no one was like, maybe this isn't the best idea.
Yeah, no one thought that even.
No.
But even like that whole environment, right? That whole environment's wild because it's like it's young people drinking for the first time in public.
Yes.
And it's like guys like obviously security who is like you, like your age, like some guys are a little older, right? In security, but it's like it's also a wild concept.
It is wild because it's like I can relate to the crowd, but like there's only so much you could do to control the crowd.
Well, because you're always
I'll be honest, because
outnumbered.
not everyone works security. A lot of them do it to get women. Let's be honest. But
Do
I'm
they?
more,
Is that the security route?
a lot of the times is they don't pay attention.
I've never thought about it, but that makes perfect
A
fucking
lot of
sense.
security guys are going after good-looking women. That's just how it works down there. I'll
Those
be
genius
honest.
bastards.
It's a genius. It's a genius concept.
Genius play.
When security is very important in a bar.
Yeah.
They run your bar. They keep things steady, straight. Like they kick out the drunks. They kick out. They got to do what they got to do, right?
Say it is 1:30 a.m. and you see a guy trip on his shoelace. Do you kick him out on his birthday, or do you just ask him how he's doing?
Absolutely not. I take a shot with him because it's his birthday.
That's what That's why I was like, come on, man.
Tell
It's
him your
1:30.
story. Tell him your
Honestly,
story.
I would say tie your shoes. I talk to him for a minute and say, "Are you good, man? It's
Well,
your birthday.
listen,
I'll
if-
keep you until 2
If he
o'clock."
talked to me for more than 2 seconds, I'm sure he realized I shouldn't have been there. But I'm sure I was like, it's my birthday.
It's my birthday, so I mean, there's exceptions. Security's all discretion. That's the way I put it.
That's a good
It's
way
all
to put
about a plan of attack and right time, right place in the bar.
right.
You got to know when to hop in, hop out.
But you're always just outnumbered, right?
I'm always outnumbered. But at the end of the day, a lot of the bars down there, they'll go one person every 50 to 60 people can take care of it.
Yeah.
When you get,
What?
I'm
Wait,
not
wait,
even
what?
joking. Yeah,
One person
the
for
one
50 to
person for
60?
50 people. That's
That
what
is-
a bar calls for.
Do you find often that the crowd has your back, or they turn on you?
A lot of the times, I get a lot of respect down there because I've worked at a lot of bars.
That's what I
Like,
mean. I feel like
You gain your respect.
if you gain
once
respect-
you gain respect back from your citizens in the bar, right?
Citizens
that's
in
from
bar.
from
Dude, you sound like a mayor. This is a
controls the area,
this is
man.
a fucking head spokesman for security.
I'd say more of like a party animals out there, but
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. But that's what I mean. It is wild, especially like you're gonna have to do it. Plus, like Bro, you're a big guy, so I can only imagine when motherfuckers are like acting
When
up.
when a brawl happens, the brawl happens. But it's like we take care of it quick because we don't want it to escalate, right?
Right. Like, there ain't even like really bad. Like, there's got to be some really bad stories.
I'm trying to
Because I've been in like bars where it's like bad situations.
I've actually
go off.
I used to work at Tecumseh Bourbon back in or out in Tecumseh.
Yeah.
Couple fights there. We actually had a couple bands there actually.
a couple bangs there.
Bands.
Isn't it weird that there's that many people fighting in the bourbon?
It is crazy, but
It's like every time I hear about it, I'm like, bro, this is the bourbon.
But you want to know what it is though? It's a lot of Tecumseh kids that have money. No offense, like they're coming in with
that's
$400, and it's all like, look at me, right?
That's a good point. They don't
Especially
have,
that's a spot now, right?
Yeah, it's a hot spot. There's nothing out in Tecumseh. There's Johnny Shots. Johnny Shots is a washed up bar.
Not many people hanging out in
Not
Johnny
many people.
Shots.
It's older crowd, right?
Yeah.
Tecumseh Bourbon's more like the younger crowd, I'd say, back in out in Tecumseh.
We should open a bar in Tecumseh.
Ooh, he said that. Before
It's
we
funny
got
I
in
said
here.
that before
Yeah.
we even got on the podcast. I was like,
He said
I
he
had a
wanted to open a
big
bar.
dream or a big like plan ahead.
Listen, sitting at this table right here are some big investors with big ideas. I think the three of us could own the Tecumseh bar scene. You're right. There are rich fucking bastards out there.
There really is, and they
They're
just
all
want to
ass-
spend money.
They're
That's
all
they do.
assholes. They're rich assholes. So if we just get the shittiest looking club bar and just throw it out there, we get that side of Windsor.
Yeah,
Because they don't want to drive all the way to Olette.
They don't.
That's
no.
where the
no,
cops
they
are at.
don't. Yeah,
We get a bar out there. How many cops they really got going around out there?
They
I
may have
think
a
I think
few.
I might see 2 a night, but
That's what I'm fucking saying.
they're
man.
catching guys with DUIs. That's the only reason why they're there.
Hey, that's how the city makes
but
its
that's how
money.
the city makes the money.
Yeah,
That's how the
right.
city makes the money.
I've said it on here before, and I believe that. But it would be smart, right? Because there are a lot of people. Even like think about, you could probably get a lot of people from Bell River scene.
Yep.
Oh, 1,000%.
Because what's out in Bell River? What, Twigs?
They got a
Who's going to
McDonald's
Twigs
now.
to go drink?
McDonald's. They got a McDonald's, and that was like the highlight for them. I think they have like 2 Tim Hortons.
I'm thinking we can do this.
Yeah, no. This
But what I was thinking was like a bigger picture. You get like a sports lounge,
Oh, shit. Are we doing a sports bar?
or
we
we.
want to do that. Yeah.
But
What's the dream? Your ideal bar?
You got more experience out there? I've only been to that bourbon once.
yeah, I'll be honest. Like the bourbon's a good environment, but I feel like Johnny Shots is washed up. Like it needs another environment. But I wouldn't really do a sports bar. I'd do like a. I don't know. Like I said, I'm more of a Hawaiian guy. You can tell the theme today. Like,
Yeah.
I would do it more
I
of
just
a.
thought we all just had this on accident.
But I was thinking more like a tropical bar, man. Like
Yeah?
get
Yeah.
more of a tropical environment going on. Cool drinks, great menu. Getting live. I'm more of a live music kind of guy.
Live
I
music
love
always
live
livens
music.
the
I love
space.
live music.
Okay, so what I'm picturing here, a space a little bigger than Tree, nothing massive,
Yep.
with a band state. This is almost Fog Lounge with the Hawaiian theme. Yes, that's what I'm picturing here.
Yes.
Yeah,
A big window tied all together,
Yeah, we could do that.
and I want to be on some back street, like just not
Yeah, you don't want to be
not on the main stretch, just past it.
Would you promote it heavy?
I feel
Do
like you have to For at least-
Promoting's big in the bar. I'll be honest. A
got
lot
it.
of guys, it's all competition nowadays.
I have actually like you would. I feel like you would know this better because I know like if you work for a certain club, right, you have to kind of promote the club. I know that like because I know girls have bartend certain places and stuff like that. So I'm like as a security guy, is that your job too? Like do you have to promote certain things like as a security guy, or like that's not even. It's
They
just, like,
actually. So the way it works in a bar is you have promoters that promote your bar for you.
right.
They pay promoters to go promote the bar,
Yeah.
to get company, to get people to go there. So it's like every week they gotta post on Instagram, post on their social media, and to get the bar saying what events are going on, right? Like
Right.
live music. When I was working at Wild Child, that's what they do every week. They got promoters promoting every other day.
It literally it feels because I follow a good amount of women. It feels like they post like 3 separate bars in a row. Do they just pick a random woman out of the crowd that they've seen for more than one night and go, "That's her. That's
It's
our next
all,
promoter."
So honestly, they go with followers.
Really?
They go with
Man.
more like, let's say you have a lot of people that you follow. They
Yeah.
look at your social media
Right.
and they go, oh, let's say they got 2,000 to 3,000 people that follow them.
Yeah.
They're looking at the business perspective, like, oh, if we promote them, they can bring in people to make business for the bar.
Right.
True.
But it's not just a random pick. You got to actually apply for it.
Oh,
you
yeah.
know,
Oh, you do?
You actually
Oh,
have to.
Wow, I figured you kind of just showed
No,
up.
you actually have to apply to be a promoter.
To be
Wow.
honest, I
Wild,
thought it
yeah.
was like you kind of just got hired, and then they were just like, "Oh, if you work at this bar, you want to promote. Obviously, you want tips.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah,
want,
you
you know,
promote the bar
you
saying, "Hey, I'm here today.
yeah. Well, think about how
Yeah.
many snap stories you see of like girls being like, "Come see me
Come
at."
see me at
Yeah.
cheetahs,
Yeah.
leopards."
Right.
I mean, that's a 1 a.m. thing, right?
Yeah,
The places that are actually open, open late. But yeah, dude, that's
Strips is open till 3.
Yeah. Are they open till 3 now? I thought they
3
were
a.m.
open later. God
Wow,
damn.
what a wild time to be alive.
Got offered a couple jobs there, but I told him I'm
You're
good.
Why don't you want to do the strip club thing?
I'll be honest. It's just
So
the crowd there. It's more you deal with some interesting guys that come in.
Yeah.
Like you're talking higher up. I'd say more of gang related guys that walk in there.
that would make sense.
I'll be honest. I don't want to put myself in that position when
Right.
I work a full time job during the day too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd rather just be in a nice, quiet environment, bar.
yeah, like Wild Child. Yeah.
Even Wild Shot. I was gonna say I've worked at a lot of clubs. I'm at the Dugout now.
What's your favorite?
That's not fucking bad, eh?
I'll be honest. I love the Dugout because of that environment. I like bar scenes instead of clubs. Clubs,
makes
it's too much going on.
Why do you think you stayed away from clubs then, or what turned you away from them? Because I know you were there for a minute.
I'd say turning away. It's just because it's guys that too much going on and guys aren't doing enough of their job. You know what I mean by that? Like,
No, what do you mean?
Trying to
by-
hook up
so
with women.
sorry.
Trying to get with women.
No, it's not even that. It's just like, so the way a club would be worked is there's like 5 to 6 guys all have a space in the bar to take care of.
Right.
The issue is guys are getting too distracted, getting drunk, getting distracted, doing other things. The way a club has to work is you need everyone on the same page, like a team sport.
Yeah.
That's the way security is. With a bar, there's one guy usually running the bar, and that's usually it's one guy. So like at the Dugout, it's me. I'm at the door.
Yeah.
So I like being in a bar because it's nice, laid back. I get to know my regulars. With a club, it's in and out. You get guys in and out, and there's probably 100 to 150 people a night in a nightclub. At a bar,
especially just for down here.
just for down here, that's a lot of people in
That's a
my
good
opinion,
amount of
right?
people, man.
So you think of it going back to you get one person per 50 people. A club's a bit different though because you get a different kind of crowd coming in.
Yeah.
You can have 50 to 60 people, but those could be a rough 60 people in there.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? It's club. It's a club. It's not a bar. But with a bar, it's your regulars coming in. I get 20 to 25 people a night. That's
not bad.
I'm breezing,
That's
right?
not bad.
Yeah, you're just chilling with
I'm
that.
chilling, just talking to
You
guys.
only need half a dude for that.
That's what I mean. Like, I mean, a lot of people say I'm 1.5 people, but I stick to one person.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, that's wild. That is wild.
Now let's ask about the other part of your day. How's glass going?
I'll be honest with the glass company. I've been doing it for about 2.5 years now. I went right out of high school, right into the trades. I was just kind of, I was never a school guy.
Best call, man.
And honestly, that's what I say. It was probably one of the best things I did for my life is go right in the trades. I didn't want to pay for school. I didn't like. I don't want to go into debt. Like I'm, like you know what I mean.
I'm sure I'll get into debt on my own. I don't need to go
you know
there.
what I mean? Like, that's one of those things where a lot of people stress about. It's
Yeah.
one of those things, aspects of my life that I don't want to stress about. I just want to be able to work, live a great life, right?
Vibe out, man.
Vibe out always.
Especially he was telling. You know what he told me before we got in here? You know that wire glass. The wire, like
So going back to I was talking about it. So there's actually glass called GPW. GPW is what school board used to do. It's the wire glass you would see when you're a kid, right?
Yes, yeah.
It is actually illegal in Ontario to use it now.
Oh,
they just made that illegal.
do they got to remove it all?
So like it's when we quote jobs, it's not part of the quote anymore. Like GPW, if a company asks for it, we can't give them it. It's just I'm not 100% the actually reason why,
I was
but
gonna say, like, what's the problem? Is it just,
I
like,
think
the
it's something to do
shatter?
with the health.
What's that glass called? The
GPW.
Can we find out why G?
Yeah, that's for
PW.
GPW glasses.
Yeah, why is you can't use it
Let's
anymore?
ask the gods.
Google.
It's GPW.
Georgian wired glass. Georgian wired glass
is
is
weak.
It's weaker than ordinary float glass. Damn, they just call it wire
That's
glass.
fine.
It's just
weak
saying
ass
it's weak.
bitch.
It's a weak. It's a weak glass, I guess. Like
It's just weak as fuck.
It looks strong.
Why
'Cause
is
there's wire in it.
Why is wire glass banned? What about that one right there? What does it say? I have a glare on my side.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I remember that. Oh, who the fuck was it? Someone put their leg through a wire glass window at Brennan.
Oh, what the
oh
fuck?
damn, that's wild.
It was like he went to kick a dude, missed completely, and put his leg through the fucking window,
Ooh.
and the wire was all fucked up inside.
Oh,
Yeah.
and it probably scratched the fucking.
I don't think I ever saw that guy again.
Ooh.
Damn.
I didn't really pay attention. I was a little busy with other things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's wild, dude.
Yeah.
So they're just like.
What other weird glass facts do you know?
Glass facts. It's funny. I could tell you a couple. I was actually telling him.
Title of the episode: Glass facts.
You know it. But yeah, actually, there's a couple. There's different glass. You got your 6 mil, 8 mil, 10 mil, half inch. Half inch glass is crazy glass.
Seems
That's
like
the way it's
hefty
it's heavy.
shit.
It is heavy.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. It's one of the heaviest glass, other than fireproof glass too. I've installed a couple fireproof. You can have a unit 10 by 12, but it's 50 to 60 pounds. Like it is
Fuck.
heavy glass, man. Like it's ready to get. Like you could throw something through it. But the thing is with glass is any glass you could break it through the corner of the glass. A lot of people think, hey, let's just punch on
Oh. If you hit that corner at all, man.
It's any corner.
Yeah.
A lot of people think, oh, let me just go punch a glass,
Center.
right? Just go center of the glass. No, all it's gonna do is put a little dent in the glass. But yeah, I say if you ever got someone to piss off or it pisses you off, just hit the corner of the glass in the
Smash
car,
the
right?
corner. I've always gone for the tires, but the glass.
Hey,
Makes
the
sense
glass
as well.
is a lot more of an aspect, right?
You cannot drive with a broken windshield.
But you could drive with a flat tire.
Tires.
Yeah.
That's smart. I gotta change my threats.
Right, even like the fucking garbage bag window.
Oh, yeah.
The
Listen,
garbage.
man, I think I
Duct
said
tape.
it not even that long ago. I wouldn't drive with a garbage bag window.
I wouldn't either.
I'd find another way to where I gotta go until I get that window fixed. I'm not riding around with a garbage bag
No.
just blowing as you're driving.
because that is a constant reminder. It's like I can't afford to get a window fixed right now.
Well, yeah, that's what a lot of people are like. Oh, let me just go slash a kid's tires that pissed me off. I'm like, that's just dumb. He's just gonna go refill his tire up.
Yeah.
I'm like, you snap a window, that's a couple $100 for a company to do.
If you do the back rear window, like driver's side window, that's like $1,000.
It is $1,000. It was funny you say that because a couple months ago I was working out in Amherstburg. I think it was actually
One of the 3 buildings there.
No, I'm trying to think of what school I was at the time, but actually one of the coworkers, she threw a piece of flashing, broke the back glass, and yeah, it's like $1,200 to replace it.
What
dude.
the
It is,
fuck?
and that's just
Yeah.
on a Ford pickup. You think
That's
like,
what I mean. I don't know why for
Like,
some
you know
reason
what I
the
mean?
fucking rear windows are more expensive than anything else.
It's crazy. Like but it's custom. Like all your custom glass is gonna be really expensive. I used to work for Bayview Glass and Riverside Glass before I hit Sterling Ridge. I work for Sterling Ridge now.
You work for Sterling?
I work for Sterling Ridge
Oh,
Architecture.
That is a fucking gravy job,
yes,
baby.
you
Yeah.
know it. Sterling
yeah,
Ridge,
man.
brother.
Fuck yeah.
But yeah, it's just like a lot of the times, all the custom, like when I worked at Bayview, they do custom showers.
Yeah.
Showers can get really pricey when you're doing new homes.
Mm-hmm.
They do custom mirrors, anything custom glass. It's crazy.
Who's ordering custom mirrors?
You'd be
Bro,
surprised.
you'd be
Rich
surprised.
people, they like
Okay,
custom stuff.
That's fair.
Bro,
Yeah.
like that, but it's like, bro, mirrors are actually so much fucking money. Like
It
They
is.
are, yeah, but like for some reason I can't picture myself ever being like, I wish my mirror just had a little slight more curve to it. I'm gonna order a new one.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
Bro, I'm painting a frame right now for this guy's mirror. Like, dude, I don't even know how to explain to you how big this fucking bitch is. It's probably like 2 of these tables together. Like, that's how big this mirror
Where
is.
is he putting this?
But it's like a big frame. It's like a big frame for this fucking
Does it look
mirror,
like it can
dude.
be hung from a ceiling?
No.
Okay. All right. Then I have no idea where he's putting this fucking thing.
Yeah. I know what you're saying, though, the mirror. Like, some of them have it in those hotels.
I don't like that.
It's definitely rich people. Bro, you probably can do that, right? Because that's weird, right? Like, I wouldn't like looking up and being like, there's a mirror there
I am.
looking back at me. Like, I don't want to look at myself.
Even if I'm just sleeping.
There's a backstory actually. You say that putting up a mirror on a wall.
Yeah.
Long story short, I was talking to a girl couple, like I'd say about a year ago. go to her house one day, and she goes, "You're a glass guy, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah, what about it?" I was like, "I install glass, right?" She goes, "Can you put up a mirror for me above my bed?" And I'm like, "I wonder why." I go, "I think that's a red flag. I think I need to leave."
Oh, you see that as a red flag.
I knew you were gonna say that.
That's interesting.
We're not going
We
to talk.
differ in some ways.
Oh, I don't even want to catch myself in a mirror.
We're not going to talk about her profession, but we'll leave that for another day.
Fair enough.
But
You guys can clue it.
That was the straw that broke the camel's back. Huh? The mirror on the ceiling.
You guys can clue in on it.
I caught the drift.
Yeah, no, I don't think I knew that.
Librarian.
No. We're not going to play Guess Who either. It's okay.
Yeah, definitely guess who.
I know exactly who it is.
Guess who on the podcast? Yeah. Guess who's getting a mirror on their roof?
Let's start listing people's full legal names.
Yeah, dude, that's cool that you've been doing it for like so many years.
2.5 years. I you see me do it. I did a fencing before. I didn't mind doing fencing.
Dude, yeah.
Fencing is actually a fun thing that I enjoyed too.
Just building the fence.
Just building the fence.
I don't
man.
know why. Like I was putting just a little like 10-foot section. I'm like, this is nice.
It's nice.
This is nice. I don't know what it is.
Pick up a couple screws, grab some fence boards, and just start throwing them up on the 2x4s. Like, just hope you don't miss.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Bro, he was digging like 20 holes, 23-foot holes.
Yeah, I remember the one job. I was like 300 feet fence, and he decided not to get a beaver.
Oh.
So we were digging.
You hand digging that
We
shit?
were hand digging 25 holes, man. My back was killing after day 2.
Dude, 3 feet holes? They don't sound like a lot. 3 feet doesn't sound like a lot.
Hey, but when you got 20 of them, dude,
The minute you get past that second hole, it's like, holy
you're
fuck.
like, this is work. This is
Bro,
work to get done.
That rotator cuff is going to work.
Rotator cuff and the lower back is just gone.
Oh, yeah. But those jobs though, I think those like difficult jobs build something. Like think about what it did for you.
I built,
Like bro, you're
a character.
Bro, you've
honestly.
had so many jobs.
I
and,
probably
like,
had like 10 jobs.
Yeah.
I would say before I went to actually sticking with glass.
I was going to ask, how'd the journey to glass come about? Because I know you're doing fencing. And then for some reason, I remember you doing, was it laser cutting? Or was that your brother?
That was my older brother.
Yeah,
actually
I
doing
knew it.
laser
I knew
cutting.
it,
He was doing
yeah.
laser cutting. But yeah,
how many like what jobs have you had? What's the worst one?
the worst job I would say, I enjoyed it, but I hated it. I would say I was an overnight camp counselor for YMCA out at Point Peely.
Oh, fuck that.
I'll be honest. Some days I'm like sleeping in a cabin, 110 degrees, no fan, no AC,
Oh no.
feeling like shit. You know what I mean? Like it's not good. The pay wasn't very good. I'd say the only way to get paid really through YMCA is through the main branch. Like you got to be through the main branch.
yeah.
It was more of a contract that I took. So because it was a contract, I wasn't
For, like,
getting
a
paid.
couple-
It's-
Yeah, it was shit. They were paying me shit.
It was for a couple months too, right? It's like a couple months.
I
thing.
did that for 3 months, and I played football that year too, travel football. That was the year I actually won the championship, 2019.
Shout out.
Like shout out, had to
Had
point
slide
that
in
out,
there.
but yeah, it
You
was
got
a
your
great
medal
year.
on you?
Pardon?
You got your medal
I
on
should
you
have brought
right
my ring today, but
Actually,
I got a ring. But
that's pretty sick.
honestly, obviously playing at Brennan, we weren't winning much.
No, didn't have a good streak going there.
But I mean, Brennan was one of those schools where it's like I wanted to play travel because I got to know a lot of the kids in the city that had good talent. I enjoyed traveling. Like I love travel football. I'll be honest. Me, Malcolm, and Dante. You know the three musketeers.
You guys stuck together for a bit.
We
bro.
did. But yeah, travel is one of those things where it's like you got out, you got to see other guys' talent throughout the city.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, we never paid. But
Why would you?
the biggest thing is they kept the kids. They wanted to bring kids that couldn't, like, we couldn't afford it, right? Like we all lived in a lower income, like single moms at home. Like it's hard. It's $800 to play football.
Yeah.
Who's gonna pay $800 to play football? Let's be honest.
Well, it's
Not many.
It's hard for some people. Have you ever
It
seen
is
that
hard.
fucking? Have you ever seen that show Last Chance U?
Yeah, I have.
That's a
yeah,
fucking
yeah.
really
it's
good
it's
show.
a great show. It was actually, you say that Dante, he's playing in the States right now for Butler, Butler College, junior college.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's doing really well for himself.
Shit, man,
But I
that's
mean, I just look at the talent around Windsor. The percentage of guys going past high school is very low. Like, let's be honest, it's very, very low. So, like, when I see guys like going to get opportunities. I told him, I said, live it up to the best you can, man.
Go as far as you fucking
not
can.
everyone has that opportunity to go play D1
Football.
football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's a big thing in my
That's
opinion.
fucking sick,
like-
man.
But don't you think that's just because like the states take it way more serious than we do here?
Oh, absolutely.
Because, like, you
the
gotta think-
states, they put in a lot more money into football in general. Like they
Right.
take care
Like
of their
their
players.
high school
Yeah.
teams.
They
dude.
take it like their high schools over there, are like our university in Canada.
Bro, they broadcast the games.
They do. They got a marching. My whole life playing football, I've always wanted to play with a team with a marching band.
Dude,
I thought it was sick. I thought that would be sick.
That's fucking
just walking out in the
Yeah.
field. Yeah.
I've always like had a dream of playing, but I mean,
Buddy, we got an opera following us around, man. We got a whole fucking music thing going on.
oh
They
yeah.
did. And then even like that show Last Chance U, man, like you watch all these guys that come from like you
It
know,
shows you the guys coming down from underground and coming up and
Yeah.
performing. Right? It's
Yeah.
guys that don't have what other kids had.
Not the chance, the opportunity.
It's the opportunities that they get to play at that next level, and that's what it is. Like a lot of guys don't have grades, or they're troubled guys that they just need a little structure to get to that D1.
right.
D2 isn't that bad of college play. It's just guys that they're talented, they just don't have grades. It's guys to get their grades up to go to D1 to get that opportunity, right? To get to a D1, then you get to your next level. That's the dream. Dream big, right?
Yeah.
CFL, NFL. I'll be honest, if I ever got an opportunity to play for CFL, it's not worth it. The CFL does not pay.
I've heard
They don't
that,
pay.
man.
They don't
Yeah.
pay.
They don't know.
Honestly, a CFL player, if you're not good enough, you're getting paid almost like the same amount as a teacher. Think of
Really?
that.
Wow.
70 to $80,000
Yeah.
just to play. Most of those guys that play in the CFL, they need a second job just to live. Like they
Fuck
can't
that,
afford to do both.
I think I heard this recently, actually. It's like, if you're going big in football and you get an offer out west, don't take that shit. Don't take that. That's a career-ending move.
Yep.
There's no advancement there.
Yep.
And I'm like, that sucks, because it's like, we're not that much smaller than the States.
No.
You know? I mean, we got a lot less people.
But I mean, it's like I said, the States, they put in a lot more money into their players. They take care of it. Like Dante showed me a schedule over in the States. It's like they're up at 6 a.m. They're in bed by 11, but everything is scheduled.
Yeah.
Every hour they're doing something. He does 3. In the States, they do 3 workouts a day. They have 2 film sessions. They have 3.
Yeah.
They have 3 periods of eating. Like, you know what I mean? Everything's planned. Here, it's like, let's just get some kids to go on the field and let's just have fun. It's like backyard football back in winter. You know what I mean?
But it's
See
like,
what happens.
but it's like, especially if you're on a scholarship, right? Those coaches and whoever the staff are expecting you to follow suit, like follow that schedule. Like you're getting paid to go there. You're getting paid to go to school there. They want you to fucking follow schedule. And that's like, do you think like maybe when they teach that, like especially for him being in the university, you think they're teaching that to build like structure? So it's like if you're gonna go play for a higher league, like it's like this, like you get your shit together now, because that's what like even that whole show is Last Chance U. It's like because some of those guys were D1, right? And then they just got knocked out. Like they got, because like they fucked up either with like the law or they fucked up with like their grades. So now it's like they get bumped to this like community college, and it's like, okay, now we got to build you back up, because like now you got to, you have a talent, but it's like you don't have everything else. Like no one
figure out the other shit.
Like,
It's like-
you know, it's like they don't have
Yeah.
what they lost what they had, but they got to regain what they had.
Yeah, you
know
gotta
what I
earn
mean?
it.
You got to earn for what you did wrong, pretty much.
right.
But those guys are, like I said, a JUCO is not a bad route either. A
No.
lot of guys go a JUCO route before D1.
Right.
What is that?
JUCO is
It's a junior college before you get to Division 1.
Yeah.
That's all it is. It's like going to St. Clair instead of going to University of Windsor here.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? It's going to college instead of university.
Cool, man. Cool.
Yeah, and then like those guys are just trying to build up something, and they have like the whole show has like a whole staff behind them trying to help them. But it's just like what kids are going to take the help and what kids aren't,
yeah.
right? And it's like you see some of them get drafted, some of them end up doing like really good, but then some of them like, you know, there's some that end up falling back into like, you know, wherever they grew up from, like if they were in a gang or something like that, sometimes they fall back into that. Because it's interesting because you're just trying to build them up from something that they are. Because like those coaches see it.
Oh, they see it. Yeah, for
Like
sure.
they see, but it's like, bro, if you don't want to help yourself, I can't help you.
And that's and at the end of the day, it's like sports, even in general in life, is a lot of people have to realize someone could tell you 1,000 things, but you have to do it yourself.
Right.
At the end of the day, you have to.
Someone can hand everything
Someone
to you.
someone can give you everything, but if you're not going to take the initiative to do it,
Yeah.
then it's useless, right?
Pretty much.
It's like it's useless because like
you have to do it yourself. There's only going to be so many people that guide you to do great things in life, but you have to do it yourself to take the initiative.
Right. Someone can give you the layout, but it's like if you like, listen, man, this is what you got to do.
You have to show up and perform.
That's show up, like,
you know
especially
what I mean?
a lot of those guys. It's like the whole thing is like just showing up on time. Like that was one of the biggest things.
Yeah,
it's like for real. It's like you can't show up on time to JUCO football. You think you're better, and then they'll just bench them. Like,
but
it's okay, you don't get to play.
It's something that small that can make or break a player.
Right.
If they're not going to show up on time, that's one little thing that they're missing out.
Right.
It just kind of feels like, man, if you're there trying to sort your fucking life out, and this is like your last fucking chance to do the thing you loved, don't you think you might just show up on fucking time?
Right, but like that's what I'm saying. The whole show is like literally these coaches trying to teach them that, because like you got to think of it. If they don't get film, right? Like if you're late, so if the coach is like, "Hey, listen, you got to be on time. If you're not on time, you don't get to play on whatever fucking Friday, let's say." And you show up late, and you know, because they got to make an example out of you, right? Even if you are a star player, those coaches, especially at the JUCO level, will make an example. They'll be like, "Just because you're the star player, sit the fuck down, man."
They don't care. They hold a 60-man roster where it's like next guy up.
Yeah.
They have guys that are good from starters to third strings,
Mm-hmm.
but it's all putting in time. Like obviously, if it's effort, right? At the end of the day, it's effort and everything. Like everything. I mean, playing football for a long time, I that's what gives me a good work ethic. I would say football has been a big impact in my life.
Yeah.
When did you start football?
I started football when I was 9 years old. Actually, one of my best years. I would say is my first year. My first year of football, I was a fullback.
Man, you peaked pretty early, bro. I'm sorry.
I was actually playing. I was playing with your little brother. My first year, man. It was good times back.
It
was the Bears.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hell yeah, man.
But yeah, I'd say it was probably one of my best seasons, man. Like it was just a great way to get in a sport in a big spotlight, I would say.
Yeah.
I got to play fullback, scored 30 touchdowns.
Look at you, man.
But like once I got past to that, I started playing role playing.
Yeah.
Pretty much whatever a team needed, I did, right? Mm-hmm. I was not like, oh, I played fullback the first year and then I played fullback 2-3 years and then I moved over to defense. And then I was like, all right, no more glory. It's time to put in the hard work now.
We'll go to work.
Especially
we're going in the trenches.
When you were 9, were you like bigger than everybody else still?
I'll be honest, I was like huge when I was 9 compared to every other kid.
Yeah. So you just walking through.
I was just walking. Like it's funny. My mom brings up a couple tapes every here and there of bringing back my good old days back when I was.
They're like,
9.
why is that adult? Why is that 15-year-old on the field?
But yeah, she brings it up. She's like, you used to carry kids on your back, and I'm like, I miss the days, but it's like, I start to realize like time flies quick, man.
Yeah,
like it
does.
really does.
Bro, when people caught up.
Yeah, they caught up, and I'm like, I got guys that are same size as me. I was like,
son of a
bitch. I was like, damn, I can't just run over kids like I did when I was 9 years old.
30 points is a good season.
Yeah.
I understand why you see it's your best.
I had a great year. I had a quarterback beat me out for MVP, but it was a great first starting of football of my life. Like, it was a great impact just to start. I mean,
did you fall in love with it right away?
I fell in love right away. Like I actually, when I was younger, I was a league bowler. I was actually a bowler.
Oh, shit.
I
didn't know that.
So before I got into football, I played bowling with my little brother.
It's crazy you didn't stick with that. I would have stuck
I'll
with
be honest, I still go bowling. I try to go bowling every here and there. I love bowling, man.
Bowling's sick, man.
People say it's activity or luxury, but
Bro, you went bowling not that long ago. Yesterday.
I went yesterday, actually. Yo, it's funny you say that. I was high as shit bowling. I was hitting my dab pen on the lanes, but no one kicked me out.
Well, it's a bowling alley. You
It is
can
a
kind of
bowling
do
alley.
anything.
You
can literally
What'd you
do
bowl,
anything.
dog? What'd you bowl yesterday?
$1.80. It wasn't bad. It was like $1.80, $1.50, and then 110. I was messing around, but honestly, I was rusty a bit.
Did dab start to take over?
Yeah, I was gonna say I was like slowly dropping.
Yeah, I've rolled the perfect 300.
Oh damn!
I haven't.
No, you haven't.
I was gonna say it must be April Fool's today, right?
It is. Oh, Mike. Oh no, I just talk match. I'm actually pro in Wii bowling though.
He's not that good. Don't listen to him.
I am.
He's pretty shit.
I'm great.
He's not. He's not even pro. He's not even pro. That's all. His skill level ain't even pro.
But yeah, going back to like the bowling days, yeah, I was doing league for a bit. Got a lot of scholarships actually. Like I was a pretty good bowler when I was like 8 years old. Yeah,
there's bowling scholarships.
There's bowling scholarships. Like the way it worked is they give out like it would be like $500-$600, but it all added up, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if it's expired now. Now it's been like probably a decade since I've played back.
They've been waiting for you.
They probably, but I mean, like my little brother pursued it for a little bit, but like once football hit, I was like, I'm dropping bowling. Bowling's bowling, right?
There's only so much glory on the lanes.
Much, you know what I mean? But like I joined football and I was like, yo, this is like a passion. Like this is something that can help me throughout life. I was one of those kids when I was younger where I had a lot of anger issues, so bowling wasn't a substitute.
Yeah, bowling wasn't.
I couldn't just go to bowling and like, you know what I mean? It was one of those things where my mom, it was one of those things where it's like my mom's like, I need to put this kid into sports.
I got to do something with him.
I got to do something with him. Bowling's not the solution. We're like, so then she put me into
Bowling's not getting the anger.
No, she's not getting the anger out. Like, so I needed something just to get me like focused, right?
Yeah.
And, distraction, but
fuck, I'm just glad it worked for you.
But like I said, yeah.
Look at you now.
Look at me now. Security, doing full time glass. Like I can't complain, man. Like life's been, I'd say, pretty good lately. I'll be honest, but
yeah. Hey man, that's all that fucking matters.
That's all that matters. That's why I tell people like, it's you got to try to be happy as much as you can, but help people around you. That's the way I start to realize life is growing up, right?
That's how it's got.
But that's a good like way of thinking about it. Like you think about that shit. What you just said. Like everyone's just trying to. You just living your life, bro.
You're living your life,
and you're always like. That's what I mean. I was talking to my brother before I came here, and he's like, "No."
We should have got Junie on the show today too.
You'll listen to this one for sure. But like, yeah, man, you're just like a straight up dude.
But that's honestly like the way I feel like the society's been is you won't find a lot of loyal people until you actually go explore.
Yeah, that's true.
You got to get to know people that are going to open up to good people. That's just the way I feel like, in my opinion, it's going, right?
Honor begets honor.
So it's hard to get someone's trust nowadays. I'll be honest. Like I keep my bubble nice and tight.
Yeah.
The bigger the bubble, I'd say the more trust bust.
Clusterfuck.
Yeah. The more you got to trust people, right?
Yeah. It's just it's like one of those things where you just gotta. I don't think it's about like how many people you can touch. It's about like the people that are around you that you can touch. You know what I mean?
It's more like like going to like what you're saying. It's more the people that. I would say to have 3 to 4 close people that are going to actually put time and effort into your life is more important than having 10 to 12 that are just going to be there, right?
Especially you find out when shit hits the fan who's there, bro.
Who's there, right? Like I'll be honest, like when I snapped my ankle, there was a couple guys that were there, but a lot of them fell off the track. Like my good buddy I played with, couple years older than me, but Jordan Krug. Shout out to Jordan Krug. He was a captain when I was playing with him.
For the show.
for the show. But yeah, like guys like that, like he's one of my like sidekicks, man. Like I can call him up and like if I need something, he's there. It's to find guys that are gonna be there when you need it the most. That's the guys that I feel like I need in my life. That's to have like that's all you need. Like I don't need 10 to 15 guys in a group. I don't need that. Because then that's when your trust breaks, right? Mm-hmm. Like your 3 to 4 guys, it's easier to trust 3 to 4 guys than to trust 10 to 12 people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially when you keep that circle.
You keep it tight.
Keep it tight.
You know what I mean?
Stranglehold like, alive. You're trapped through every move.
You're 3 to 4 main guys.
Go
like,
to sleep. Go to
sure,
sleep.
like I like obviously playing football. I know a lot of people in the city. Yeah. Work at security. A lot of people know me through that. But yeah, I just keep a tight bubble. I like being independent. Like being independent, just vibing, right?
Just like
make your money,
make the money, vibe it, do my shit.
Yeah. And like you're just a positive guy to be around, bro.
Oh yeah,
like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like that's the whole point of it.
I've always tried to strive like good vibes. Always, even through your toughest times, people have tougher times than you.
Always.
That's always. There's always worse than what people go through. I tell them all the time.
Yeah, bro. Well, like you said, like breaking your ankle. Like, how'd you break your ankle?
So yeah, going back to my first season.
I know you played St. Clair, right?
Yeah. So like after high school, I went. They recruited me, St. Clair. I was going in as a fresh. Yeah. Walking on, I had to beat out 3-4 seniors, man. Like I busted my ass just to get to a starting position. I was
Get
one
that
of
fucking spot.
I was
right?
the only. I was probably there was a couple guys starting, but like I busted ass just to be a freshman to start, and a lot of guys looked at me different. And I'm just like, I'm just a hardworking guy, dude. Like when I'm on the field, I want to play. I don't want to get benched.
You wanted that fucking
I
spot.
want that spot. So when I want it, I'm gonna go get it. So a lot of guys just
What was the
looked up to
spot
me.
you were fighting for?
I was fighting for defensive end, so I played defensive end for St. Clair, stand up end.
Not fucking bad, eh?
It wasn't
That's
bad
a
at
fresh,
all.
not bad at all.
Not bad at all, man. But yeah, it was a good run. Like I played 4 or 5 games, but it was a fluke accident, man. I was out on a Thursday night. We had a game Saturday, rainy day. So pretty much, got tied up with 2 guys. Guy coming through the A gap, my running back, and I got caught up, kind of like 45-degree angle, both ankles, and running back just right on the ankle, right on the bone. Shot up my leg like a UFC fighter would snap his ankle.
Oh my god!
3 surgeries later.
3 surgeries?
I had 3 surgeries with that break.
Like clean break?
Oh, bro, it shot up 2-3 inches. The doctor.
Fuck.
We're not gonna pull up a picture. I know it's a little disturbing, but
We've done worse. Pull it up.
Do you have a picture of it?
yeah, I could probably. My phone's out there.
It's all good. Don't worry about it.
We'll show you.
Show
after.
us after,
Yeah, I'll show you
yeah.
after.
So I can say,
But
oh,
yeah, I got
time.
so my first surgery. Pretty much, he put 8 screws, 10 screws in my ankle.
Holy fuck!
Reconstructed it. I went back 2 weeks later. It was out again. I just looked at him. I go, Doc, what'd you do? I said, my dreams to go to the
You
league.
fucked up my ankle.
I said,
This is your fault.
I said, do you want me to go and play again? I said, me to be back for a second surgery, that's not a good plan. I said, these guys, like, I had guys crying on the field when I left because, like, I'll be honest, like, being a team captain for Brennan, I kind of brought that to St. Clair environment. I wanted to lead guys to be great players, right?
Yeah.
I've always told guys, even at Brennan, like, you just have to outwork guys. I don't care if you're talented or not talented. You be blue collar and you outwork guys.
Yeah.
Outworking guys will beat talent any day of the week. I will take a guy that's going to outwork a guy that's going to be talented.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
As long as you show the effort, man.
You
That's
got to
pretty
show the
much
effort.
it.
That's it. Like you could teach anyone how to play, but it's putting in the effort. Like you could teach and develop guys, but if they're not going to put it in, they're a waste.
Yeah.
I'm not going to take a guy that's talented and cocky just to be out there, just to be talented, right?
Yeah.
Like you want guys that be leaders.
I knew
be-
tons of guys like that in hockey.
You know what I mean? Like it's
Like that, like-
it's the ego that I've always been a humble guy. I don't like ego guys.
Right.
But yeah, going back to like St. Clair, it's like I brought that kind of leadership out, and a lot of guys like I got high energy, right? Like I'm always like, I was going to practice, running around the field, screaming, jumping, like I was just me. I loved the environment.
That's how you are, man.
That's just how I am. I'm just very high energetic. I love good vibes. I love just great environments, right? So like when I went down, like I had a lot of
I
like
can't even imagine how heartbreaking that was.
they
bro.
they
I can't even imagine.
I'm not even joking. They ended practice. The coach called me and said we had to call practice. No one wanted to practice. And I
Yeah.
just go, what do you mean no one wants to practice? I go, that just devastates me. Because you want to know how bad I wanted to go back out, even off a snapped ankle. Like I would go.
Sitting
It
there.
was funny. My first surgery, I showed up the same Saturday, 3 days later off of surgery.
Fuck.
Oh, not gonna lie, I was off a couple perks, but
I'm sure that helps. Yeah.
but I'll be honest, I was zoned out because I needed painkillers. Like
Yeah.
that's just. But like I showed up and like those guys to see me out there. I just told my mom. My mom's like, "Are you sure you should go out?" And I'm like, "It's a team thing. I don't care if I'm crippled in a wheelchair. I'm gonna show up. It doesn't matter." But after that, it's like I had to get guys up. I said it doesn't matter who's in or out. I said your top guy can be down. You just have to be a team and get yourself back up. One injury isn't going to defeat or break or make or break a season.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. But to go back out, like I still think if I wake up every day and I said, do I want to go back out? Like that's kind of my future. I want to give one more season.
You think
You,
so?
oh, you do.
I'll be honest. That's been in the back of my head. It's funny. I've been working out, just trying to stay in physical shape, right?
Yeah.
But that's kind of my goal is to go back out one more season,
time.
one more time, just to give it one more season.
Fuck it.
Because I mean, those coaches, they begged me to come back up, but I said, there's gonna be a time that I'm gonna be ready, but I don't want to not be ready to go back out.
You don't want to be. You want 100.
I want to be 100% to show up, get my cleats, and start practicing with
Right.
you guys.
Yeah.
Like 100%.
100% most. I don't want to be 80 to 85. 'cause
Right.
I look at my career too, right? Like if I'm
wanna go
not 100% ready, I
Yeah.
don't want to screw that up for my future
Right.
of my job too, right?
You want to go out there and hit motherfuckers.
I want to go out there, get ready to hit. Like I don't want to be sitting on the sidelines. I want to
Yeah.
be ready to go,
wanna be
ready
on
to
that
buckle
shit.
up. I want to be on
Where
it.
where do you think you are now then through like recovery from the surgery now? Like what would you say percentage wise you're at now?
I would say I'm about 80. 80%, 85. I've been jogging, starting to jog again.
Yeah.
But it's been almost a year and a half. Like it's a work in progress, right?
You're
I
feeling
told him,
good,
but
you
I'm
feel
feeling
like-
good, but I'm not
Not
100% there
Yeah.
yet.
That's fair, man.
But I
Especially
would,
coming from a snapped
yeah,
ankle.
coming from a snapped ankle, it's a tough break.
A lot of screws in there.
I'll be honest. So going back to the surgeries, so I had my second one. He actually had to screw longer ones in to reconnect my ankle because the screws were too short. So my ankle got shifted back out. And he
Holy
told me it was shifted back out, and I'm like, "What do you mean?"
How?
Speaking of going with that, I sat with a broken ankle at home for 5 days. I wasn't important kind of thing because you know the way the system healthcare works, right? I'm not going to dock this system at all, but to sit at home, it was tough, man.
It's still shit.
It was
It's still
shit. It was shit. But yeah,
Or you just sit there with some ice on it and try not to look.
no, yeah. I honestly, I'm just staring at I'm staring at a ceiling the whole time. I'm like, when am I going to the hospital?
Any day now, doc.
Any day. But yeah, the third surgery, it was actually wild. My third surgery, they didn't even put me out.
What?
Oh, how invasive was it?
I'll be honest, I had headphones in and like I could just feel the number 3 Phillips just turning. He had a number 3 Phillips screwdriver just to my ankle.
The drill died. He was like, "Fuck."
I was like, a DeWalt? A DeWalt drill?
Drill's dead. You're like, "Fuck me, man."
I was like, at that point, you should have just took an impact, put it on number 3.
That's what I mean.
You're constructing the surgery. You're like, listen, use that. Here's my tools.
I was like, here's my tool bag. Just go grab my impact.
Jesus, man, this is gonna take forever.
But yeah, that was like wild. Like he threw like a needle, like probably 2 inches and like a numbing needle in my foot. And I just looked at him. The doctor goes, "Are you good?" And I'm like, am I supposed to say yes or no?
What's the right answer?
I was like, what is the right answer? He goes, but yeah, I could just feel it. Feel the screwdriver.
No matter how
just
much numbing they
twisting.
put in you,
It doesn't matter.
if
It's
there's
just
something
that,
in your bones getting removed, I feel like you're gonna feel it somewhere.
What was the snap, like the initial snap like? Like, was how painful?
Did
I'll
you
be
pass
honest.
out?
I actually didn't. I sat there. I looked at the coaches. Like, I'll be honest. A funny moment of that night, when the ambulance came, like I was good for majority of the time. Like, people heard the scream though. Like I screamed. That was the one time in my life that I
You're
screamed.
allowed to scream.
I
for that.
screamed because it just snapped.
Yeah.
So I just went to the ground and I just like sat there for a minute and like the coaches came and I'm like, give me something just to grab. Like I want to punch someone so bad right now. But yeah, it was funny. The funny moment in the ambulance. The ambulance goes, "How's your pain?" And I go, they're like, "We're gonna stick a needle like through your arm, like it was like a painkiller, right, or antibiotic." Stab the needle. I was like, "Oh damn!" I was like, "This feels worse than my ankle." She's like, "There's no way." I'm like, "Yeah, my body is in shock. I don't feel from like my waist and
down.
up.
Oh yeah, dude. Oh yeah, your body.
My body is just gone."
That's
I was
fucking
just like,
funny.
I felt the needle more than a snapped ankle at that point. I was like, "Oh damn!"
Holy shit. Whole bones out.
But I was like, "Damn!" But yeah, I'll have 8 screws the rest of my life, my ankle. So when I want to travel, it's funny because I'm thinking about traveling to Cuba in the December or so, going for Christmas with the family. But yeah, when I go through the detectors, I'm probably gonna get beeped.
You gotta explain.
I gotta explain. Hey, I got some material.
They're gonna cavity search it.
Yeah,
Scan my ankle right
yeah.
now.
Scan it. I swear, I didn't stuff anything in there.
Please don't try and take it out.
Yeah,
Yeah, dude, that's fucking wild.
it is wild.
And then
man.
you're back
Yeah.
to working out.
Back to working out. Like I'm feeling good. It's just like I said, I'm gonna be at the point where I could show up and not worry. Like
Are you hoping to be ready for next season?
I'm hoping like this up and coming season. I know I'm like I want to go out, but I know it's probably not a
the
good
time.
idea. Not the time to go out.
how do you determine that?
So it's actually, I got a Dynasplint. I don't know if you guys ever heard of that.
No, can you explain to people what a Dynasplint is?
So what a Dynasplint is? A Dynasplint is to help with range of motion of your ankle. So the way an ankle works is your ankle is supposed to be 90 degrees. My ankle was at 130. Yeah.
Just slightly off.
But yeah, what the Dynasplint does is it helps increase your range of motion to get back to the 90 degrees. I've been using that for about a month and a half now. Like I got actually really good improvement. I'm about 112, 113 now. That's in about a month. So if I can get to 90 degrees by the next season, like this up and coming season, I don't think I'm going to get to 90.
That's how you would determine it, though?
That's how I'm going to determine if I can get my ankle back to 90, then I know things are going to be straight.
It's not even based on feel then.
I wouldn't even say it's feel. It's just I want my body to be proper before I go up.
That's probably the best.
You know what I mean?
Best
like,
measurement to make.
I'll be honest. Like my mental game, it's like it's a fight right now because like I still look at the money thing too. Like if I go back down, I help the family out at home too, right?
Yeah.
It was tough to go down because it's financial. You know, the living around the city, right? It's crazy.
It's just expensive.
Like it's just crazy expensive. Like the rent, it's almost like compared to living in Toronto and Windsor. It's crazy. But
it's fucked.
But I would just say, yeah, it's just gonna determine how the ankle ranges. Like
what did your doc say to you? Was he like, if you feel 100%, you're good to go, or did you not even bring it up?
Pretty much, the doctor. I just looked at him and he goes, "I can give you this Dynasplint." I was like, he told me I won't ever play again, but I'll be honest.
He told you that?
He pretty much.
What does he know? Fucking.
But I'll be honest. I'm like doctors. Doctors, they get paid to do what they do. But at the end of the day, it's like it's all the mental game. A doctor's gonna tell me that because I started slightly arthritis in my ankle. Like already, I've already started arthritis.
Okay, hold on. Can we pause it for a second, just because I have to go pee? But I want to talk about that. Forget that. Don't forget that. All right, we're back.
So like I was saying, like get a fucking job, like a real job, and I'll respect your opinion, doctor boy. What do you fucking know?
But okay, you were saying like arthritis in your ankle or knee?
So like I started. So I went through for a checkup a couple months ago, just to see where I was at, like to reevaluate, right? And he pretty much told me, he's like, I just asked him, I was like, is there a possibility that I'll ever get back to get on the gridiron, right?
Yeah.
Like get on the field. And he goes, well, like you started slightly arthritis. And and first of all, I stopped him right there. I was like, arthritis? I'm like, what do you mean arthritis?
That's not what we're here about, man.
I was like,
That's not what I wanted to hear. Yes or no?
Yes or no question. But I looked at him, I go, like, what are the possibilities? And he goes, it's honestly your choice. But he's like, what do you do for like an occupation? And I was just like, I'm a trades guy. And he's like, to be honest with you, you probably shouldn't. But I was like, to go back out, I'm going to talk to the coaches with accommodations, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I'll go back out and play again, but don't expect me to practice 5 days a week. I'll be honest with you. I think practicing 5 days a week are ridiculous.
Yeah. Why do you think that?
I just think of that because it wears your guys out. Like we had a lot of guys, even my first year, we're doing 5 days and it's a game Saturday. That's 6 days of activity.
And especially like you guys are hitting.
You know what I mean? And we're grown ass men out there at that point. It's 20 to 23.
You ain't recovering as fast.
You're not recovering. Like we need a couple days off just to like we're banging heads. Like
some guys got fucking jobs.
You know what I mean? Like like a lot of the guys work full time. Like it's an option. Like I'm not in school, but a lot of guys, like you understand what I'm getting to. Yeah. But yeah, a lot of guys out there. I just told them I was like, it should be 2 days a week. You got a game.
Do you think 2 days of practice is good?
I think Tuesday, Thursdays would be perfect, and then you get a walkthrough on a Friday.
If you were to run a team, is that how you do it?
I would do it that way, 100%. But that's honestly that's the way the Ravens did it. Travel football, that's what they did.
Okay. Let's say this then. Like if you're getting up to a high level, right? Like would you do? Let's say you had practice. 2 days a week, would you make them do recovery like an ice bath or like weight room shit? I feel
like recovery should be part of the practice plan.
You
know what I mean?
It
like
makes sense.
You work hard for an hour and a half, 2 hours. You could take half an hour to go in an ice bath,
right? Just
to recover. But the issue is with Ontario football in general is there's no recovery or rehab for their players. They can only do so much. Sure, stretches for 20 minutes. You know what I mean? That's not going to recover.
Are you saying there's just not enough money into?
There's not enough money invested into football for the recovery for athletes in Ontario, in my opinion.
Because like you guys are just hitting each other at practice.
We're just hitting each other going home. Like you think guys all have baths at home, like ice baths? No,
no.
That's expensive. I'll be honest. To run,
buddy, they taking a shower with some lukewarm water. And going to bed.
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're doing. Like there's no recovery plan plan of attack in Ontario football, in my opinion. But that's something where it's money, right?
Yeah.
The states have the money. They have they invest to get. The thing is with Canada too, it's like I feel like they juice up the states players because there's things that you can't take in Canada that you could take in the states.
What do you mean? Like, give us some examples.
It's like so SARMs are a PE. Performance enhancements.
You're right, but certain leagues don't look at
Certain
them.
leagues will not look at them.
Yeah.
In the States, you can actually take them.
Actually, sorry, before you keep continuing, explain what SARMs is to people that don't know.
So SARMs, it's a performance enhancement where it gives a booster for athletes to play. Like it's like taking pre-workout, but it's like an enhancement.
Right.
But they look at it as like cheating as players in Canada, where it's like they're taking this to get their highest talent that they can get to.
Yeah.
In the States, they don't care because a lot of the guys are equal talent. In Canada, let's be honest, there's talented kids, but it's not equal all the way through.
Right.
The recruitment over in the States is crazy. They can recruit
They
anywhere.
recruit people in high school.
Yeah, in high school.
Yeah.
Around here, it's like, guys, hey, who wants to go play football at the college and go take a course, right? You know what I mean? It's like, oh, I'm taking a course of this. Yeah,
I didn't know like teams are out going like, we got to check out the high schools.
yeah,
the
that's
talent.
what. Yeah,
That's a lot of them, man.
like
Fuck,
that's
that's
a lot of them,
crazy.
and especially if they're good early, like they're even looking at them in junior league.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like they invest in kids over there when they're young, but around here they wait for like high school. You can't wait for that.
I think like around there, it's like 11, 12, they start looking at kids.
Yeah, it's like early because they're like,
because they're like, they want to.
They want
that
this kid, right?
To follow through.
Yeah.
It's just, bro, that's kind of weird.
yeah, that's what I said. But it's just like I said. At the end of the day, it's like they look at SARMs as a cheating thing.
Yeah.
Which I understand the perspective of it, but at the end of the day, it's not steroids. It is, but it's not.
I mean, Jake and I are of the opinion that we should just let athletes take any drugs they want.
Like, okay, let's act like that's a good topic. What do you think? Do you think athletes? Because like, listen, there's 100%, especially because I listen to a lot of podcasts with athletes, and they talk about how easy it is to pass those drug tests, and obviously, like, everybody is taking something. I believe in the NFL. I don't believe there's people that do it clean, but I do believe that steroids are involved in use. Do you think it should be a free, because like you're paying all these people a certain amount of money, right? Like this is going to piss a lot of people off, but like you pay all these athletes a certain amount of money. Do you want to see the best of the best? Like, what do you think? Do you think steroids should not be involved? Do you think
Honestly,
steroids should?
I think in my opinion, like people want to be entertained. Like
Mhm.
I would just allow it to go because who's going to want to watch a boring game of football? Let's be honest.
can't.
Do you want to watch a 7-7 or do you want to watch a 28-21 game?
Right.
There's a difference between talent, right? If I feel like it should be up there, it's to the discretion of the athlete.
Discretion
Yes.
of that. Yeah.
That's what we said.
That's what I feel like it should be. Is it's up to them
If
what
they want to take that random Russian chemical off the dark web, let them.
That's on them, man. It's on them. It's like at your own risk, right?
Yeah.
That's the way I put it. Like,
Yeah.
you're putting into what you want out of your body.
A lot of people consider it cheating, right? Like there's a lot of people. There's certain fight leagues that won't even test for steroids.
No.
Like I know like bare knuckle boxing. I'm pretty sure they don't even test for steroids.
They're already just hitting each other in the face.
Oh, yeah.
Just let them do whatever they
But
want.
it's like that's interesting to me because we've had so many discussions and there's a lot of people. There's people that are against it. There's people like, no, I don't think so. Like Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson's against the use of steroids in sports because he's like, bro, for a fighter you can kill somebody, but it's like, bro, you could kill.
You could kill someone off of it.
I
like,
could go out and hit somebody in the head and they fall. They hit their head. They're dead.
Yeah,
Like like things like that don't. I don't know because it gets iffy because I get it because like especially if you're fighting a dude on fucking steroids or you're going head to head with someone on steroids.
What if you're both on steroids?
But if you're both on steroids, right?
Yes.
Because we definitely know like
We should just force it. That's the answer.
But we know, we know that there is definitely steroids used in sports and professional
100%,
sports,
100%.
because it's for recovery purposes. Like, bro, like when Connor snapped his fucking leg, you think Connor was just 6 months and then he was just back to kicking the bag? Like, you're telling me you don't think that there was any involvement with of juicing?
Three
like,
times the
bro,
size.
His facial ring. Can you do me a favor? Can you pull up 2014-15 picture of Connor versus like today, like past Connor versus today? I want you
Everything
to,
about
I
him.
want you to look at him because like look at his like facial structure. His facial structure has changed.
Yes.
Like it is crazy. Sorry, what'd you say? Conor McGregor, please. Just like from a past to like present now, like just to see the change.
You also look at Conor McGregor now. Like he could fight in heavyweight now. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. Go to the images. Like, I just want to see if it compares like to. Like, okay, you see that second row?
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
right
perfect.
there.
That's perfect.
Okay, look at him in between those two.
You're telling me he did not take any
His
PEs
whole
for that?
facial.
There's
Look at
no
his
way.
shoulders. Everything. Everything has changed on him, man.
In 6 months, that is almost impossible without taking
Right.
product. There's
Right.
no way.
And it's like,
That's a
and he
whole
hasn't,
different
and he
man,
hasn't
bro.
been tested in USADA. Like USADA hasn't tested him. Like
No,
he
why
needs to
would
be.
they?
He needs to be in the testing pool to get back to fighting. Like you need to be in USADA.
I
testing
feel
pool
like
for
once
6
he gets
months.
back in the UFC, they will test him.
They'll test him, but they all have
But
protocols to get off.
But he's
right?
going to be clean by the time he gets back.
Right.
Like the thing is, you can get yourself up to the point of feeling the best, like performance wise, right?
right.
But because Conor McGregor's taken so much time off from fighting, the guy can get off at any time, and it's out of your system in like 4 or 5 months.
Yeah,
You know what
right?
I mean? Like he can go in straight fit physique at the moment and fight.
It's, you know what? I was listening.
What can they tell him if he's clean?
Bro, I was listening.
Nothing.
I was listening to like this UFC fight. Jorge Masvidal. He was talking about USADA pool, and he said USADA tested him like 3 days in a row, and he thought it was actually unfair because he said that's not fair that I get tested 3 times in a row, but my opponent doesn't even get tested at all. Or like my opponent got tested, 2 months prior to like, because like my opponent could have taken something in that 2 months.
It's like they're picking and choosing who
And
they
it's
want
like
to do, right?
he had a good idea. He said if I'm getting tested by USADA, he said I think everyone should get tested. So if I get tested 3 times a year, I think that person should get tested 3 times a year. And that person, he goes, you think USADA is going to the mountains of Dagestan to go test those fucking guys that are wrestling bears? Like,
I don't think
No,
so.
those guys are just
Right?
built different.
But that was a good point. That was like an actual like legit argument that he brought up because it was like, bro, how am I getting tested so many times and none of my opponents are getting
It
tested?
just feels like they should be tested at least twice a year.
Right,
if
at
they're
least
in the league.
I think when you're with USADA,
Just
they
to
make you
say,
taste for it.
you did.
You did, right?
You did. Even if
I feel like every fighter in the UFC should at least get tested once. At least once a year minimum.
if you're gonna fight,
If you're gonna fight,
you should get tested a couple times.
yeah.
And it definitely should, and it 100% should be random. But even like, bro, a lot of those like USADA will come and test them like during their like weight cut, and it's like, bro, you're waking up their sleep, like you're fucking them up. Like, bro, they'll come on like fight day and test you at like fucking 5 o'clock in the morning.
They'll
And
come
it's
at
like,
random times
and it's
because
like, bro, what the fuck are you
can.
doing? Like, but you can't say no. You can't be
Yeah.
like no because then you don't fight.
Motherfucker, it's 2 a.m.
But that's how they do it. Like that's an interesting argument because we've had people on here that like we brought that up and they're against it. They think like no, I don't think there should be steroids in certain sports.
Yeah.
But it's like it's so weird because bro, the Russians in the Olympics for Rio, I think all of them got tested positive for steroids except the figure skaters because actually steroids worked as a disadvantage to figure skaters.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was crazy to see that. And like you're gonna tell
Your sport's so lame, steroids don't help.
yeah. I mean, I think fucking figure skating.
No,
is
it's
wild.
super cool.
Yeah. But like that's what I mean, right? That's an interesting argument. I don't know. Do you think like what do you think about young people taking steroids?
Like I said, going back to like discretion, it's like I feel like if you're not developed at the right age to take them, you're gonna screw up your development for what you want to get out of it. Like I'll be honest, HGH, one of those things out there. Like I took HGH to help my ankle out because that's what it's for. It's for broken bones.
Did a doctor prescribe that, or was that your own doing?
I asked like what they think, but I did research, and HGH actually helps with repairing broken bones.
Yeah.
HGH makes me feel great, in my opinion.
Right.
I work great off of it. But you can't live off of it. I went through a phase of it and I got off of it.
How long were you on HGH?
I would say like 4 or 5. It's a cycle. So I went through like a bottle, and then I was like, all right, it's not healing properly.
Right.
I went through 2 bottles, and I was like, after 2 bottles, I felt good. Like you don't need to rely on it, but use it when you need it.
Do you know how many milligrams you were taking?
I'm not quite sure exactly.
No.
I'd say like I'm not quite
You're
sure.
just hoping.
But I'll be honest, HGH, there's pill form and liquid form.
Right. What were you taking?
I was taking pill form. I'm never a guy that'll ever shoot myself up. That's
the best.
You don't
call
want
to
I hate
make.
needles.
You don't want to put the needle.
I'll be
in your
honest,
ass?
like
The needle hurt more than breaking your ankle, man. I wasn't expecting you to shoot anything up.
But I'll be honest, it's like I'm all like tatted up and stuff. Like I just don't like the whole thing of needles. Like the whole thing of like, oh, stab yourself to get like energy, right? Like
Yeah.
I was like, but like the 2-3 months or the 4 or the cycles that I did, I feel like use it when you need it.
Did you
Don't-
feel anything when you came off?
Honestly, when I came off, I was like, I was still feeling good because you have to slowly get off of it.
Right.
You can't just go like
Cold
cold turkey.
turkey.
You can't.
And
You're
I'm
just
done.
like, I'm done. You can't. It's like you slowly get off of it, but like I don't need to rely on it anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
It just helped, but I got walking in 5.5 months. So like
That's not bad for
but
bruising
it's
your ankle,
because
man.
I was helping myself out and providing myself with stuff that was gonna help, right?
We had a guy say that too. We had a guy on here say like, I think maybe you should be able to use steroids while you're injured, but when you're recovered, he thinks you.
When
should
you're
be able to pull
recovered,
off.
I feel like you don't need it. It's just guys still using it to advantage, but you don't need it. It's not gonna give you more than what you wanted to get to peak.
Right.
You're already at your peak. You don't need it still.
Yeah. Especially like a lot of guys like, a lot of guys want that advantage, especially dudes that are competitive. Like I remember a motherfucker I used to play football with would take like fucking 5 Advils, just ibuprofens before you got out there, just ready to fucking bang.
It's
dude.
fun.
Like,
It's
ready
fun.
to fucking get out there.
It's funny you say that because like I go back to like the Ravens season that I won, but I had guys that would be taking Adderall and pre-workout. That was their main thing.
Adderall.
Adderall.
Yeah,
Adderall will play
Oh, you know
football.
what? I could see Adderall working out well.
But
No,
I'll be
you're right.
honest. But it was a disadvantage because a pre-workout is it's a high stimulant.
Right.
You know what I
Pre-workout
mean?
is a high.
It gets you going.
Weird thing to mix together, man.
But what it would do is throughout warm-ups they would drop. That Adderall was taking over where that pre-workout couldn't keep up to the mix. So I had guys dropping and they're like, I'm dead. I can't perform anymore. Like, and I'm like, you realize what you just took? You took like 2 pills of Adderall and you took like 2 scoops of pre-workout. Do the add up.
You
Yeah.
peaked hard as fuck.
You was
and then dropped.
and dropped right to the ground, sweating.
Bro, you're on so many milligrams of caffeine.
Like,
dude.
you know what I mean?
Fuck.
Like caffeine, you're gonna have a peak, but after like that
the crash.
crash, you're crashed like
Yeah.
bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with some of them, right?
But I just looked at guys and I'm like, how the hell are you taking Adderall before a game? I've never touched Adderall in my life.
Bro,
Like,
you know,
I don't.
you know what I mean? I don't
I could
see
see it sort of working out for maybe like the first. Well, after the first 45 minutes, that next hour you're gonna be on that peak.
Yeah.
But besides that, you're fucked.
But at the end of the day, it's like Adderall, it's like, how is that gonna help a football player to perform? Like, you're good. You don't need a focus pill.
It's just,
You know what I
again,
mean?
but
Like-
it's like those guys that want that competitive
They want the
edge.
competitive
Yeah.
edge,
They
right?
want
Yeah.
that edge on you. They want like even guys will cheat. Remember, you were on the line.
Oh,
Guys
yeah.
would cheat all the time.
They would cheat. Oh, yeah.
Like, not rest your hand because
Yeah.
they want to be able to get
Yeah,
up.
they wanna
first.
be able to get
They
up
wanna be able
fast.
to pop you up first.
Yeah.
Bro, it's like that. Bro, and then you have like, Derek Wolf. He played for the Broncos.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Bro, he was on a podcast recently. He used to say he used to microdose mushrooms before you go out and play, and he said it made him. He had one of the best seasons of his life playing like that.
I'll be honest, because
Bro.
but it gives them an edge in going back to like microdosing. Like I was on a phase of doing microdose too. I actually tell people like I feel like it helps. It helps with guys with depression, anxiety, because it gets them out of that like I'm strangled kind of thing, right? Gets them out of that phase where it's
I
Why-
can't see it helping with football. I don't understand that.
And
But
he
it's
said
but you know what I
everything was
mean?
slowing down. He said he felt like he could see the play happening before even like the ball snapped.
it's making that brain think quicker than a regular person, right? Like I feel like but that's one of those things where I feel like mushrooms shouldn't be in it.
Why do you think
in
that?
performance? I just think that because
That's
it's like
cheating.
it's just like more like mushrooms. It's like weed. They finally legalized it in NFL.
Right, you can smoke pot.
You can smoke pot and they don't care.
Right.
I feel like
That took forever, eh?
Yeah,
Fuck.
it took forever, but it's like I feel bad for like all those athletes that were getting suspended for marijuana because it's like they're missing seasons, missing out pay.
Mm-hmm.
But like they finally legalized it, and you look at guys and they're like, "Oh, I missed out on a couple of years to perform," and that's their peak performance times.
Right.
but
Why do you think the psychedelic thing?
I think the psychedelics is just I feel like it's more. It shouldn't be in performance because I feel it gives it an edge.
What kind
Like,
of edge do you think?
I feel
Have
like
you ever played that way or no?
I've played high, but I haven't played off mush.
Okay.
But I just feel like mush gives them that extra booster. It gives her that like I think that's more of a focus like going like Adderall wise, like mushrooms doing mush, it's gonna get you more focused than taking Adderall. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
So I just feel like it gives more of that edge if they're on it than guys that aren't on it.
Right.
I feel
Because
like
they can't relate.
You're on that mission.
You know what I
bro.
mean?
You're on a mission.
You're on
now.
a mission.
You're on a quest.
like you're on a mission to get things done quicker than guys that are off of it.
Yeah.
Not every guy is gonna be on mushrooms. Let's be honest.
I'd love to see an entire game where every player.
That would be a wild. I feel like it'd be
And
like
then
a
the refs.
zombie apocalypse.
Like, did we start? Did we start? Is that the call?
But even like, what about you? You said you microdosed.
I microdose, but not playing wise.
How long did you microdose for?
Microdose for like 3-4 months. Like
Shit. Okay, that's a good amount of time.
I didn't mind it because I'm diagnosed with anxiety and depression. Right. I don't like antidepressants. It just gets you off that like slump. Right.
Yeah.
Gets you out of that mood where you don't want to be in that dark stage.
So when you never took the SSRI route or anything like that, like pills.
I never took pills.
Did you try it, or you were just like, nah, it doesn't sound like.
Honestly, it just never interested me. I've always said I'll smoke stuff from the ground and up, but I won't take pills.
That's good.
You know what I mean?
stance to take.
Where I know where
Can I
it's
just
coming
ask,
from.
Can I just ask why? Like why you think that?
I just feel like because like seeing on people on antidepressants is like they rely on it. They rely on taking the pill every day. I don't want to rely on taking that pill to make me happy. I want to go the more natural route where I know it's going to be. I wouldn't say it's safer, but it's more like
You're working it out. You're trying to work it out.
I'm trying to work it out myself, and I'm not relying on a pill to solve my issues.
Yeah.
What? How do you think you had that mindset then? Like what made-
I would just say like that mindset is just like I see other people take it, and I see like the way that they like reflect off of it.
right.
And when they're off of it, they're a whole different person. I don't want to be a whole different person because I need to take a pill. I'd rather just stay natural and just be myself. I don't want to change my ways because of a pill.
Yeah, because it's really just altering your brain chemistry.
It's just that. That's all it's
to a
doing.
specific
like,
degree.
It's guys that are relying, or people in general that rely on antidepressants, but it's just antidepressants are a thing if they absolutely need it. If the doctor tells them they need it.
Yeah.
But
it does help people.
It does help people.
There's certain people that
Yep.
helps, but everyone knows someone that
Yeah,
takes that.
everyone-
and
yeah,
it
exactly.
makes them worse.
It makes them worse. Like I'll be honest, couple months ago, like my grandma was on, like prime example, and she doesn't like them because
Then like
when
the way
she's
they make
off
her
of
feel.
it doesn't make her. It doesn't make her feel
Shout
proper.
out grandma.
You know, shout out to Graham, but yeah, like going off of that is like I feel like you shouldn't have to rely on pills to live a life. Like I'd rather just stay all natural, and I know where it's coming from, right?
Yeah, we had
The cartels,
a buddy on, and he used to tell me all the time. I remember one time he looked at me and he goes, "Bro, I don't want to be on these pills anymore." Like he looked at me, I remember he said that, and then he goes, so we started working out together, but the working out thing wasn't his thing. What he ended up actually finding was boxing, and he ended up falling in love with boxing, and not to mention, then we did a sober November, and he the day we got done like sober November, he goes, "Hey man, I just want to let you know, I actually ended up I threw my antidepressants out the day we started the sober November."
Damn.
And he's like, "I feel way better, bro," and like now he's doing great.
That's
bro.
what I mean. It's all like personal preference.
Bro,
right?
I legit almost cried when he told me that because I know how bad he wanted to like stop that.
Yeah.
But I think it was just for him. Maybe he had to find that thing, you know, because like working out maybe wasn't his thing, right? But he ended up finding boxing.
Yeah.
He ended up finding boxing, and he ended up, you know, it went up for him. Like, you know what I mean? That was,
He's doing better than all of us.
yeah, he is. Legitimately.
Oh yeah, but yeah, it's like one of those things where it's like it's all personal preference, and I just, like I said, going back to it, I just feel like you shouldn't have to rely on a pill to live. Like multivitamins are great. Like don't get me wrong, I take my vitamins every day.
Yeah.
Do whatever you got to do, right? But
Well,
getting that extra stuff added, I feel like there's substitutes that you can substitute.
right. Like you, what you're saying is like you have outlets.
Yeah.
Like you have outlets for certain things. Like that's like, especially for like you growing up, like I think that's the best thing you could do is recognize that, right? Mm-hmm. Like the fact that you could recognize like, hey, I don't want to do it like this. I think there's better ways of doing it. Like, did anyone suggest the microdosing to you, or did you just figure that out yourself, or did you hear somebody talk about it?
Honestly, it's like I talked to a couple guys, got a little bit of a feedback from it, but I just, like I said, I personally like I do like mushrooms. I don't take them every day like anymore. I just more do it like a party kind of vibe scene now. But when I was on them, like it just changes moods. Like you go through phases through life where you go through deaths, you go through like dark stages, right? You need something to pick you up. Like I'll be honest, sitting in a dark stage with being on just nothing, it's a tough gig, right? But like I was like, all right, I gotta see what I can do without taking an antidepressant. So I was like, all right, I'm just gonna try to microdose.
Yeah.
And I was like, microdosing, yeah, it helped me through that couple months, but then I just got off of it. So I was like,
Don't need this all the time.
I don't need this all the time.
All the time, yeah.
But it was just a phase that I went through that I wanted to do it. You know.
Do you,
you did?
do you suggest it to people? Yeah, and do you what he asked?
So like I tell people, like, I suggest it if you go through some of your symptoms, your anxiety, depression, some of the disorders that can help. They've actually scientifically proven that it helps with anxiety, depression too.
Yeah.
But they say microdosing, it's like, don't go over. If you're a new beginner, I'd say like a microdose, like a 0.3. You don't need a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like,
Don't down 13 grams your first night.
you
man.
know what I mean? Like, you're not
gotta
gonna
do
go out and take a nick of mushrooms and say, "Hey, I'm lit. I'm lit. I'm gonna
solve my anxiety.
I'm solving my issues."
Tonight, right now. What is that? Oh shit.
But yeah, it's just one of those things where it's like, I tell people, it's like, mushrooms isn't for everyone, but it is an option if you do have your disorders.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's personal preference, going back to that too, right? Like, I did about 0.3, 0.4, but even actually a buddy at my work the other day, he asked me, he's like, how's microdosing? I said, I went through a phase of it. I said, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
It helped me out for what I needed it for.
What was the day like for you?
The day, like, it acted like I wasn't on them. It was just like a routine at that point.
Yeah.
I
You
just
was
walk
it
in.
like 0.3 a day in
It was
the morning?
like 0.3 in the morning. I'd just take my multivitamin, take a 0.3, and it wasn't bad.
How are you doing it? Eating?
Yeah,
Liquid?
eating it or mixing it with something. Like, it doesn't matter, right? Like,
Yeah.
I was just eating it, mixing it with something, but it was just one of those things where it gets you through it when you need it, in my opinion. It's not for everyone, but I think microdosing does help.
I've heard.
And I'm hoping in the next year or so that it's going to be legalized in Ontario.
Yeah.
Ontario is one of the last ones to actually legalize mushrooms.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
I thought it was only like Alberta and British Columbia that had.
There's a lot, actually. I think I'm not 100%. We might have to pull it up, but
What do you want to search up?
search up like how many like
Is
where
psilocybin
where
legal
like
in Canada?
Yeah.
where is it legal for mushrooms in Canada?
We'll find out.
Because I knew they discussed it a lot.
Yeah,
I didn't realize they had even passed laws saying it was.
Yeah.
Damn, bro. Check that second one there, yeah. Whoa, damn. He's treating symptoms of stage 4 colon cancer? Damn, bro.
What is this? Okay.
Yeah. This is people like pushing for legalization, so I don't know
Right.
if anywhere has. At least
Maybe not yet. Yeah.
Yeah, like I said, I know in Ontario they're still pushing for it.
Yeah.
But like if you go out west, like almost I'm not gonna say every single province in Canada.
I don't think it's been legalized, but it's not as heavily penalized.
But
as
if you
it is
go in,
Ontario.
like if you go out west, it's all legalized. They've actually legalized so many things out there. It's crazy.
Yeah. So you're for like studies then, like is there anything else? Is just mushrooms you've only taken?
It's funny. So I've actually tried a tab before. I'll never, ever in my life.
fucking risky little devil.
I will be honest. It was a fucking bumpy road, man. Like, I don't like that at all. Like, I
You
did it
Stick to
once.
the natural shit.
I did it once, and that's the way that I put people. Like, they asked me, like, what you've taken. And I was like, I just stick to mushrooms and like weed now. I said I don't like going out of the ordinary now.
If you can buy it on a res, it's probably okay for you.
but listen though, the res, some of those guys, I feel like they're cooking crack in the basement. I swear.
No, listen, I'm not saying everything's chill, but if you go into like one of the little pot stores and it's
Yeah.
just kind of sitting on the counter,
You know it's okay.
probably won't kill you,
Yeah.
or
the
get you
shroom
addicted
bars?
to crack.
If you're going with a third party, going to say, hey, knock on someone's door. Hey, can I get a couple tabs?
Have you ever had the shroom bars there?
I've only pretty much consumed like the actual mush. Yeah.
Actual mushrooms. Yeah.
It's funny you say that because like I got like peanut butter balls But that's for another party night. But
that make you.
But
feel
I mean,
a
it's
different
just
way.
one of those things where it's like I just don't have time anymore to actually, because you need time to recover off mushrooms. I'll be honest, it takes a toll.
There's that afterglow.
It
where
takes a
you're
toll,
like,
man. It
okay,
takes a
man.
hangover. It's like drinking, but like worse.
Bro, I've had that feeling just off like taking high milligrams edibles. Like I've taken 500 and not felt the same the next
You
day.
ever had that feeling in your stomach?
Oh, you wake up the next morning and you're just like, you're zoned out. You're just like, oh, I'm showing up to work still high as shit.
Bro, are you an edible guy or no?
I'll be honest, I did a lot of Eddies when I was younger. Like,
Yeah.
I am still young.
I was
but
gonna say what, like a year ago.
I'd say like we're not gonna 2-3 years ago,
Yeah.
but you understand where I'm getting at. But yeah, pretty much it's like I did a lot of Eddies when I was younger, and it's just I don't like the feeling of them anymore.
Really?
I don't have.
What do you not like?
I just don't, because like sometimes when I take it, I don't know my limits on it. Like, you
That's-
know what I mean?
What's the most you've ever taken?
I've actually taken 2,000 mg.
What
Yes,
the sir, baby?
It was
yeah.
a fucking
500
wild
milligrams.
ride, bro.
buddy. That's
I
sick.
sat in a chair, a computer chair, watching football, and I just dropped my head to the ground. I dropped my head to the ground. I was at my cousin's house at the time, and I was just like, he looked at me, and I couldn't respond. I just sat there, and he just like thought I was dead.
That's it.
I looked at him. I was like, dude, I need to go home. Like, I am fucked. I'm like, I'm past my point. Like, this is the highest I've ever been off an edible.
That's
but
probably
I
the
took
highest you'll ever be.
because honestly, it was probably one of the highest times of my life is being off 2,000 mg. It was crazy.
Yeah, dude, it's fucked. That's fucked. That's
I'd
a
say
lot.
other than my deviated septum surgery, going off that. Other than that was
Took an
another
edible.
high.
Took a good edible. Facial surgery. They're close.
But yeah, that was probably one of the highest times of my life. 100%. The 2,000 mg was crazy. I took like I forget what the bars were called back then. They don't make them anymore.
There's
They
a
came in
reason.
like a
They're like the
little
$1,000.
box.
But
Yeah.
They're
oh my
1,000
god.
milligram
Start with
bars.
an
$1,000.
S, right? No.
I couldn't think of what they're called, but I was
Man,
just
no,
like,
I know exactly.
you know what I'm talking
the fuck
about, right?
You're talking about.
I
It's
it's not
1,500.
They were nuts, man. Like but they were so good. I just kept eating them. I was like, I'm not gonna get that high. These
These
taste
taste
good.
like chocolate. This tastes like chocolate.
I think at the time it was like cookies and cream. Like, you know what I mean?
Shit.
Like,
couldn't resist.
I couldn't. It's like taking a Hershey's bar, but like I didn't realize like each piece like $2.50, right?
Oh my god, dude! One time, my fucking sister's friend used to make these Rice Krispie squares, and she gave me a piece of it, and I ate it, and not even half an hour later, I was like, "Bro, I don't think there's just weed in this." Like, I'm like,
shit.
bro, I was not doing good. Like, I
No
mean,
way.
like, I was so fucking high, dude. Like, I had a hard time keeping. Like, I was wearing a red sweater, and my sister came down, and she was like, don't come upstairs. Like, your eyes are as red as your sweater right now. And I was like, fuck. I didn't feel right at all.
It's funny you say that because remember the time at my old house, going off another story.
God, I miss your old house, man.
I really do too, man. There was great stories, but you remember the time that like Tyler was just sitting there and had those edibles at that one party, right? I think you
Oh,
were there.
fuck. Oh,
yeah, Devin, bro.
Yeah.
He's just sitting there. We're all staring at him, and I was like, dude, this guy is fucking high. I was like, how much edibles did you take? He's like, I ate the whole pack.
They were like gummy bears, weren't they?
Yeah, the
Yeah,
gummy bars.
yeah,
Yeah,
I
you
remember exactly,
You
yeah.
remember what night I'm talking about too.
Holy shit.
But I was just like, yeah, but like, I just feel like you should know, like, when I tell people with edibles, it's like, know what you're taking.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way to put it. Know how much you're going to take,
My
know what you're
advice,
taking.
my advice is the opposite, because if you don't know, you never know if you've done too much.
Could be a rocky road.
Dude, I used to get these Oreos that were 250 milligrams each, but I'm not even kidding, Noah. They tasted exactly like an Oreo. Like, you would have never guessed that they were edibles. And one time, I put them in a big bag. Well, I ate one, and then I was watching something. I wasn't even thinking. I grabbed another one, ate it, and I realized what I did. Like, I realized I just took 500 milligrams, and I'm like,
Shit.
What people don't realize is like 500 will hit you. It will still hit you.
Dude,
It'll hit you
it will
hard.
hit you. It will hit you hard. Like
a regular dose for people is like 10. They sell 10 at
they
fucking.
get like 10 or 15 mg. We're sitting over here like taking 500.
Dude, I was taking like 200 on a regular basis. Like I was just taking that regularly.
Oh yeah, that's nuts, man. Like,
That was nuts. That was like it was like. You definitely should not be doing that. You know what I mean?
oh yeah, it's one of those moments in your life where you're like, all right, maybe I should have a like self check.
Am I okay?
Because even though like I'm a big advocate for weed, like you gotta like acknowledge like some things about it, right? Like it definitely could, like it definitely for some people it would definitely fuck with their brain, like make them schizo or like.
Oh,
people
absolutely.
have,
Like I've actually heard of people where it's like it takes that one trip for them to quit.
Yeah.
Where they won't touch
Yeah.
it. It makes them like some guys tell me they're like I'm very anxious, I'm very
Just
nervous,
get paranoid.
and they get paranoid off it. And I'm like, I'll be honest, like I've been smoking since like 17. Like I've been smoking with your brother. You know, we used to get lit in your garage back in the days of Mika and stuff like that, right?
I hope that dude's doing all right.
I do too, man. Like
Has he
ghosted
injured anyone?
He ghosted all of us.
That's
But like he was
still. I hope he's doing all right.
I hope he's
cool
doing
guy.
good. Yeah, cool guy, man. Like those international students were awesome guys, man. Like, he would just get lit. I'm like, that is a way to live. You just come to another country and just get fucking lit every night.
Good for him.
Tell me that's not a way to live.
That's a way to.
That is a
fucking
way
live.
to fucking live.
just fucking partying. But yeah, dude, like I don't even do that anymore. Like I honestly like I'm like, okay, I can't take like 200 on a regular
No,
basis, dude.
like I said, I won't even really touch edibles anymore. It's just more like I'll have a couple joints tonight. I'll maybe take some out of my dab rig, have 1 or 2 dabs.
Right.
But like I don't need the Eddies anymore. Like I had my trips, I had my great experiences on it, but it's like it's not my personal preference.
Fair enough.
Especially like now that it seems like you're taking everything more serious with like working out and shit, right?
Oh yeah, and it's just it's a toll, right? Like the more you put into yourself, like the more you're gonna get out of it, right?
I think it's just really interesting to me. You're like, I want to get one more crack at it.
I really do, man. Like I said, I wake up every day and like I see guys even at the bar that are part of the team. They're like, "You coming out, man?" I'm like, you don't realize how bad like my passion for football is absolutely crazy, man.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys watched me growing up with your dad and all, like, like you understood. Like I've loved the
Your
game,
whole
man.
fucking life,
My
man.
whole life has been football, man. That's just how it's been. Football and bowling before that. I just love bowling. Like when I was 8 years old, because me and my little brother would be on the same like
Who doesn't, man?
like.
Bowling's. I'll talk the
Bowling's
most
sick.
shit in bowling.
I
dude.
love bowling,
Yeah.
man. Like it's a nice chill environment.
Do you ever think you're gonna be like, okay, now I'm off the field? Are you ever gonna go coaching?
Honestly, it's that's a good question.
Yeah.
Obviously
You got a passion for the fucking sport.
that is
You were a
good
leader
question.
already. You won't like inspiring guys. Like, why don't you go out there? And try to be a coach?
Yeah, honestly, I actually was talking to my older brother actually other day.
Yeah.
And I told him, I was like, Brennan's looking for guys, man. I was like, you willing to go like run it back? Like, I'll be honest, go back there, Brennan,
Get on the
coach with
field.
Bauer, man. Yeah,
Fuck, that'd be awesome.
that's what I mean. I hit up Bauer actually a couple months ago. I said, hey, you're looking for guys? I was like, I'll be honest, I'm not ready for this season coming up, but I want to give back to what I
Got you
know,
where you're
right?
at,
Like
yeah.
your dad taught me a lot when I was young and even growing up all through my life. I just want to give back what those kids, like what he gave me at that point.
Yeah.
I want to give back to what those kids, like, it's like one of those things where it's, if I can't play, I'll teach what I know kind of thing, right?
That's the best spot to be in.
That's
man.
actually like
And-
so nice.
And
Yeah.
it also keeps me in that kind of,
You're still there.
I'm still there, but
Yeah.
obviously I'm not on the field, but I'm still giving back.
You're still involved.
I'm still involved in the sport that I love. That's the biggest thing.
So coaching's definitely on the table. for you.
Coaching is for sure on the
Yeah.
table, even if it's not.
I always knew you and your brother were gonna do it.
But that's what
You're
I
not
told
gonna
him.
stop.
I was
You're
like,
not gonna
and
stop.
that's what I said. It's like I'm never gonna stop. Like, not liking football. Football's just always been there. So even if it is coaching or going to play another year or doing something, right? I just want to be involved in the community, even if it's giving back to a high school or even helping kids out off the side, right? I just always wanted to push guys that I can't do once I'm done. You know what I mean? Like, guys helped me when I was 9 years old all the way up to 20.
Yeah.
So it's just one of those things where I want to give back to like what guys gave to me when I was in high school. Like, it's especially high school. High school is that peak opportunity where you can make or break kids, in my opinion.
You can really mold
You really
the future,
can,
bro.
You can mold the future for them, and it's a lot of guys don't like coaching high school, but I feel like it's a great way to start up on coaching, if anything.
I feel like coaching high school would suck dick. just because of the people you're coaching. But if you're a good fucking coach and you can mold that person's like personality for the future, like that's a good feeling.
And that's the biggest thing. Like I still like me and Bauer had a really good bond. Like even back, he still calls me to this day. Hey, how's it going, Moose?
Shit.
How's it going?
I
was
fucking
just like,
love that guy.
But I'll be
man.
honest, like Bauer, he been back, man. Like without him, we wouldn't have had a program.
Right.
That's just the way to put it. So to have guys like that and to go give back to someone that gave me an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Brendan's always looking for like coaches. I actually had like 3 other coaches ask me for other high schools to go, but like I would never go against my high school that I played at. I'd always go back to where I started. That's just out of loyalty to myself, right? And Bauer, like I said, he's done a lot of stuff for like me throughout high school. So the least that I can do is come give him something that he gave me, right?
Right.
So that guy did a fucking. He did
He
the
did
fucking
a lot
most,
of
bro.
stuff.
Yeah.
He did. Like without him, we wouldn't have had a program.
Can I ask you kind of like a personal question?
Yeah.
Like when you like you grew up with like a single mom, like your brothers and shit all playing football. Do you think like you playing football and like like obviously your dad coached me as well. Like I thought his dad was like one of the best coaches around at the time, just because like he even like his dad even like gave me shit. But did you look at him as like these coaches that you played for? Did you look at them as a father figure? Like was that something that you were looking at or looking for?
Honestly, that's a good question to ask. Like you said, growing up with just single mom at home. Honestly, I looked at those guys as like leaders. Mm-hmm. Those guys knew more than me at the time to get me through a good path in life. Yeah. I had to, obviously growing up, I had to learn. My mom's a great fucking mother. You guys know Mama Moose.
She's the fucking best.
She is the best. She's that, but that's what makes me and my brothers the way we are today. Like growing up, those guys gave me good guidelines to keep myself on a good path, in my opinion.
Right.
Those guys were there to help me through. Because as let's say an 8, 9-year-old, even going into high school playing, it's tough because a mom can only do so much, right? Mm-hmm. I had to learn a lot growing up with my brothers. Like that's just how it was. We had to learn how to do stuff on our own a lot.
Yeah.
So to have those coaches guide me through like where I am, like sitting here today, like they've gave me a lot of great things for who I am today. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say quite a father figure. Like I would just call
But they
them as
gave you
A
coaches.
role model, bro.
It's a role model. I would say, I wouldn't say father figure, but a great role model. Like I got a lot of mentors that helped me throughout the way.
Yeah.
A lot of coaches, a lot of different, like I couldn't even tell you how many coaches I've had in the last 12, 13 years.
At least 30.
I couldn't even count, man.
And but how many of those coaches are like people that you looked at as like, I learned something out of that.
I would say like pretty much every season, like you learn every season there's something to impact or reflect off.
Right.
Obviously some coaches are better than others. Like I had shitty coaches, I had great coaches, but you get to know what coaches are going to bend back for you.
Right.
Like to give it to your dad would bend back for any of us on that field. Like your dad had the passion. Like that's why I love your dad. No offense. Your dad was a great fucking guy. Just helping even Kate, helping out all the guys, man. He was always there with us.
No, he definitely had the fucking passion,
From
man.
9, yeah, your dad has always had a passion just to push us to become great. Like if we weren't pushing, he would know we're not pushing, get us to that point to push.
Yeah.
But it's like a guy like your dad, like even Bauer.
Well, I'm glad he helped you guys. Fuck.
Like you know what but yeah, going off that, it's just like guys like that,
like Bauer.
it's a big impact of the next future. Like I get guys that ask me like, how's things going? I was like, I'm just living life, man. Like I got through where I wanted to be, but it's not over. There's still I wake up every day and like think you got to be better than the day before always.
Yeah.
Like that's just like anyone.
You gotta grow, baby.
You gotta grow every day. You gotta grow every day you wake up.
Do you think you got that mindset through football?
I would say a big impact is football. That's what gives me the mindset today of just to help people out, push guys to the limits. Like that's always the way I looked at it. I didn't really see it till about grade 11, 12, where you had to push to the limits. Mm-hmm. I was just kind of playing to play at that point. Like grade 9, grade 10, I was just like, I just like to play. I like to be out there.
Yeah.
But I start to realize once you get in the little older stages, it's like
you're
not going to have this forever. Mm-hmm. It's at the point where it's like there is an ending stage. So you got to give everything you got until you can't go. That's why I want to give it another run if I can.
Is that a fear in the back of your head about not having football anymore in your life?
Like I said, going back to it, like it's always gonna be there. I know there's gonna be opportunities. It's just a playing I'm not going to be able to play. Obviously, there's an ending to playing.
Yeah.
But I feel like I'm going to try to pursue just to always be around the game just because it gives me a good distraction in life, in my opinion. Football has always been a great distraction. I've never had any downfalls, no flaws with it, really. But I would say
it's a team environment, bro.
It's a team environment, and I just think it's a great brotherhood to create bonds with your players, coaches. It's a great way to create great players. Not even, I would say, great players talent-wise. It's human beings after football.
Right.
You could see guys like, I'm not going to dock any other sports out there, but I feel like football is one of those things that create great people out of it.
So it's close to going
It's
as bad as civilians can
it's
be
a
at, bro.
close. Yeah, that's the thing is, it's the closest thing that you're gonna find.
Isn't that why they created football? Was to like make it like you're going back to war. I think that was like the whole thing of like the creation of football. I thought, but like that's like, I think what you're saying is even like the suffering. Like think about the sprints you had to do in football, and when all you and the boys were doing it.
Oh yeah,
but you guys all had to do those sprints.
But I mean, that's one of those things where it creates men from kids. Mm-hmm. You get guys to push to the limits to say you have to work in life. Like life is not guaranteed to be successful until you work for it.
Pretty much, yeah.
Unless you're rich and a millionaire, but
you ain't making it very far.
You ain't making it very far.
Well, what you're essentially saying is not everyone has the same starting line.
No,
like not everyone, right? Like
not even close.
Not even close. But it's like the fact that you can even see that, and especially like I can imagine as a coach, like imagine coaching like a high school football team. You get those kids at a very, very weird age.
Yep.
Their bodies are changing. They're trying to fucking figure shit out, and then you're trying to build, like you said, men. Like you're trying to build men on this football team where you're like, you guys need to. It's not, especially with football. What I learned is like they stressed it so much that it is not about you. Mm-hmm. It is not a you thing, man. It is us. It is an us thing.
You're never gonna win a game of one-man team ever.
You can't.
You can't. It has to be a team. Even playing, like, it doesn't matter what team you play. Like, I realize one team can have one talented guy, but if you don't have guys working around them, they're gonna lose every game. You gotta have that bond. Like, you have to have the bond between your guys that are gonna work hard. Like I said, go back to work hard that we talked earlier. Like, you have to work hard to get what you want out of it.
Yeah. What do you think is like the biggest thing you took away from football? Out of all the years you've played now, what do you think is the biggest thing you've taken away? Every coach you've had, every game you've had, everything.
I would say honestly, like the biggest thing I take away is my work ethic. Yeah. Like coaches got me to like where I'm at today, where I could say like I'm a good worker out even what I do now, because I know like you have to outwork guys.
You gotta put the work in.
And because let's be honest, like we're in a small city, layoffs happen like all the time. But I realize it's like the sports. Work instruction reminds me of playing football. I want to outwork the guy that's next to me.
Yeah.
That's just how even out in the real world works. You want to work harder than the guy
right next to you.
Yeah. Because who knows who's looking around you.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say the work ethic for sure, and just the way I am today. Like I like to push people to the limits, even doing random things, right? Mm-hmm. I just like to push, challenge people. Get them out of their comfort zone. That's my biggest thing is like get guys to get out of their comfort zone to feel good.
Yeah. Right. Didn't you play basketball as well?
I actually played basketball in high school.
How's that? What's the difference between basketball and
honestly, with basketball, that's more of a one-man team sport. You can have a guy drop 40.
Michael Jordan?
But you know what I mean, though?
Prime
like
example of that. I mean, he had Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman behind him. But.
I'm sure the team helps. But one man can't make a difference.
But you know what I mean? One man can't make a difference on the court. A one man can't make a difference on the field.
No,
like that's just the difference between them. That's why I loved football 10
and you'll
times more.
Yeah, you'll
like,
choose. Football
I will choose football
time.
any day of the week over basketball. Basketball, I would say, it's a good sport and all, but it's more of an activity.
You don't have to lie,
say.
man. You don't have to lie. It's a fucking lame ass sport. It is.
You know what I mean? You're watching guys just shoot a ball. Like football. There's a job for every single position out there,
and they have to do.
They have to do their job or else to get an outcome. Yeah. If one guy is slacking, that can mess up one play for a touchdown.
Yeah. Especially like the fact that you're going in there. Like think about linemen. Linemen are
you're just slamming.
Like
you're
every
slamming other dudes.
Every lineman has a job on that line. You have to take this guy. You have to take this guy.
Yeah.
If one guy doesn't, that one guy can blow up the whole play.
Right.
If one man fails his job, the whole play's done.
The whole play's done.
The whole play's fumbled. It's one of those I'm telling you. And you know who actually convinced me is my dad. My dad was the first guy. He actually sat me down. It was like the first day of grade 9. He's like, listen, they're going to have you have to go in for that meeting for football. He goes, I'm not going to tell you what to do. He goes, But the one thing I can tell you is I think you should go play football because I think those are some of the guys you're going to meet and you're going to be friends with the rest of your life. And the reason I did is because obviously Devin, right? Me and Devin grew up.
Big Papa. Big Papa Dev, baby.
Yes, sir. Right? Like, Devin's been my best friend since grade 1, man.
Oh, yeah.
I love that guy. I'd do anything for that guy. And when I seen that he was doing it, and I'm like, okay.
It's like an interest, right?
You gotta stick with the boy, dog. You gotta stick with the boy, especially because I still talk to a lot of those guys. I think, especially during that time, I don't even know. I was going through so much weird shit during then, and it was like that being with like the football team was just to be a part of something, bro. Like,
and that's what I mean. Like ever since I say, even from my first season to last, like until I broke my ankle, like. Mm-hmm. It is a bond that you create. Like, it's one of those things where it's like you make memories that you will never forget. Even your dad said, even since you will create memories that you can go back and talk to guys 20 years later and said, yo, this is what happened 20 years ago.
Remember
that
shit?
You know what I mean? Like, it's memories that you create. Like I remember running Uncle Willie's back in like grade 10 and it's like, oof. But like, those are the days where it's like, you bleed, you sweat, you tear with your guys, but those are the bonds that you will never like forget ever.
Yeah, never forget.
You will never forget those moments playing on the field with those guys ever.
Right. That's so fucking right, dude. You literally like. I think that's like the best example, especially for a guy like you, right? Like for you to come on here and like honestly explain that to people, especially like you've played football for so long and you've been like a phenomenal football player. Yeah. I got the privilege to watch you, bro.
I appreciate it, man. Like I said, I've always just like I've never really had a guy to tell me to do better, but I knew I had to be good. You know what I mean? But
where do you think that came from? Where do you think that came from? Like, were you, because you keep saying that, but I'm trying to get like to what made you think like I gotta be fucking better? Like I gotta do this.
I'll be honest, like going back to growing up with a single mom at home, I knew I always had to be there, to be that top performer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I had to. People were, I wouldn't say relied, but they wanted me to be great. So in the back of my head, I'm just like, I have to. It was my responsibility to do the best to my abilities. Like even growing up, young, back to high school, even going through St. Clair, I've always had that in the back of my head is I don't want to disappoint people. That's honestly, I'm going to bring this up, getting a little personal, but one of my biggest fears is disappointing people.
Yeah.
Like I don't.
Where do you think that comes from?
That's just kind of my mentality. I realized growing up is like, because if I disappoint someone, then I have to look at how to make myself better.
Yeah.
So I don't have to disappoint.
Listen, my only advice to you, man, is the only person you have to worry about disappointing is yourself.
Yeah.
That's a fucking best advice.
I've disappointed everyone I've ever met, day after day. I've never disappointed. That's a lie. I disappoint myself daily too. But as long as you can tell yourself it was for a reason.
Yeah. But I mean, like, but I mean, yeah. Getting back to that, it's just like I've already.
That's good. Please move away from that. But yeah, man, as long as you don't disappoint yourself, you're never gonna feel not satisfied.
But that was my biggest thing. It's like I've always wanted to perform at a high level, so I didn't have people looking at me different, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I always wanted to be that top guy, trying to work, trying to find my ways, right?
Right.
But I never wanted to really disappoint people. So that's why I tried to work hard, try to be that kind of guy out there that they can rely on. Where it's like, hey, can you help guys out? Yeah, I can. Like, by all means. Like, I'd be coaching on the field while I'm playing. It was crazy. Like, I'd just be like, guys, no. I'd be like, yo, go here, go here. But it's just like an example where it's like, coaches always kind of looked at me as being good.
Yeah.
So I've always wanted to be better than just good. I wanted to be great.
Yeah.
Like,
right.
That's just everyone's goal, in my opinion. Like, I don't know about you guys, but you want to be great when you play sports, don't you? Or even in life, right? You want to be great. Good is just good.
Right.
Good's good.
You don't want to be. You don't want to be as bad as the bottom two guys.
No.
But you don't want to be the other guys in between either.
Yeah.
You want to be as good as you can.
I want to be as good as I can and be as great as I can and not have people like judging me or I'd say telling me, right?
So like you saying that, do you think you worry about judgment?
I wouldn't say
do words of other people affect you?
I wouldn't say anymore. I'd say like back in high school, I kind of had that back in my head. Like nowadays, I start to like adjust. Now it's like I really don't give a fuck what people tell me.
I was gonna say, listen, if you're a security guard,
I'll be honest. Like
no,
like now, like I would say it was more in like a high school phase that I was like, that's okay. I don't want to disappoint.
That's okay.
But like once out of high school, I was just like, all right, I really don't give a fuck. I'm gonna do what's good, best for me.
Exactly. Just
I'm
don't
not-
disappoint your
I
fucking self.
and that's what I mean. I don't want to disappoint myself, and
Yeah.
it's like do the best to my abilities for what I can do
Right.
out of it. Right.
So as you get older, do you think you find out more about yourself?
I would think so. Right. It's just I'm kind of at a young age where it's like I'm still trying to find myself.
yeah.
Bro, how old are you? 21?
I just turned 21 in January.
Fuck.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday, homeboy.
Thanks, brother.
21. man.
21,
You got-
yeah.
and, bro, like to think of it, like where your mindset's at now, man. You are gonna like if you keep that going, Moose, man. I'm telling you, I don't think it could be nothing but success.
And that's it's funny how I talk to like I personally hate people my age. I really do.
Yeah, that's a good.
Why do you say that?
I just feel like a lot of my generation is really behind. I wouldn't even say my generation. I'd say just broad generation of
Behind in what though? What do you mean?
I
by
would
that?
just say behind in the future. They're all just looking at, hey, look
what
at
they
me,
can do now.
what they can do now. Not like I've always looked at looking ahead of the game,
Long game.
long game, not the short game. The short game, it's great, but it's not going to get you to where you want to be.
Yeah.
I've always looked at like, oh, what can I do in the next 10 years, kind of thing.
Yeah. So, what are your future plans, man?
Future plans is I don't know. I've been thinking about going out west possibly
Yeah.
and going to work
Yeah, you
out
said
there.
traveling too.
Traveling's on my bucket list too. I want to go hit up a couple spots.
What you're thinking?
Obviously, I want to hit up Punta Cana.
Ooh,
Yeah, at least
you know,
once, right?
At least once.
Yeah.
At least once on the bucket list. Cuba's ordinary, but
you could skip it. I'll be honest.
I guess. skip.
yeah, he went to Cuba.
Hey, but
skip it, bro.
to get drunk and hammered, I'm not
I
complaining
don't
about
remember
that.
that week at all.
That's my
I don't
point.
I remember being hungover on the plane, getting there,
Yeah.
and then hungover on the plane going back.
Oh yeah, but I mean, yeah, like I said, I might stick out with glazing. If glazing doesn't, I was thinking about even going to ironwork possibly in the near future.
Listen, man, our work pays the bills.
I really want to think about.
But if you like
Get my head
breathing,
across that.
if you like breathing, wear a goddamn mask. I'm telling you right now.
Oh, I bet.
Don't let those fuckers pressure you.
Oh fuck no. Hey, unsafe work means no work.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, bro, he's smart.
That's
with
the
it.
way it goes, man.
He's smart with
If I
it.
feel like it's unsafe, there is that code that it's unsafe.
You got
work.
that. People died for you to have that fucking right, man.
Absolutely.
so like when you're thinking of like future plans, like where you see yourself in 10 years, you still want to enjoy life to a degree. Then
I do. It's just at the point where it's like it's got to figure it out quick. Like obviously I'm getting it through right now, but the future it just depends on what the future holds, right?
Yeah.
Like I said, glazing's great, but money opportunities are always out there. I always try to look for better jobs, better money. Always, if there's somewhere or if there's like a path where I can go, I'll go.
Yeah.
Like it's not. I'm never stationary. I'm always looking for better and bigger. Always.
You have to.
Like you have to. Like I work in.
so you don't shy from situations. Then
Never. I'll always hop in for
do
opportunities.
you think you put yourself in uncomfortable situations on purpose, or do you are you not even like thinking about that?
I'll be honest. I don't even think about uncomfortable situations because
like you're not scared to try anything new, is what I'm essentially saying. Like job wise,
Job wise, like I said, I've
But
worked.
he has 10 past jobs.
That's
Speaking of that, we can go past my history of jobs if you guys want, but
We got 10 more minutes, bro.
10 more minutes.
We got 10 more minutes.
All right, no worries.
Listen, you've inspired me in the last hour and 50 minutes. If you could, in 10 minutes or less, what would you say to inspire someone like in high school, like you were, to become like the person you are now? Like if you could go back and say like 1 10-minute speech to yourself, how do you think you'd word it?
All right.
If you have it written down already, that's cool.
All right, no worries. Honestly, the biggest thing I can give to like high school kids is get yourself out there, man. Keep busy, get involved. Like they even stressed it when I was in high school a couple years ago. Is get involved because it keeps kids from being out of trouble. Let's be honest. Work hard. Do what you believe is your passion. Don't do what other kids think of what you want to do. Do what you want to do. There's guys that are going to push you to do things that you're not going to want to do. Yeah. But it's one of those things where it's like, do what you're passionate with. And like I said, work ethic is the biggest thing that's got me through where I'm at. Mm-hmm. Work hard, push yourself, get yourself playing, do what you got to do. Meet people. That's the biggest thing is like through the path is I met a lot of people to get me where I'm at.
Yeah.
Get involved. Like with people. People are the biggest thing with people's lives. You know what I mean?
Like, you think that it's important to interact?
Very important to interact.
Especially like there's so many people that like I'm a loner. Like, I'm a kind of a loner.
But it's
bro.
like,
I'm a lone wolf.
But it's like kids say I'm a loner, but it's like, get yourself out there. Get yourself out of that comfort zone.
I just don't believe that sometimes.
You know what I mean? I don't believe being a loner is a thing. There is always someone that's going to be there for someone.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? A loner is a choice.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, a loner is a choice.
Yeah. There's certain people they are ostracized hard, and they deserve to be.
Yeah. But yeah, like I said, going back to high school, it's like you got to push to what you want out of it. Like, if I could go back, I would push harder than what I do. Like, I don't regret anything.
What would you push harder in?
I would just push harder for looks in the States, right? I just feel like I didn't give enough from 9 to 10.
Left push to get over.
You know what I mean? Like, push myself harder than I did. But that's what kids need to realize, is use high school as that aspect to get to the next level.
Yeah.
It's one of those things where it's like high school, they look at film. You got good film from 10 to 12. That's what they look at. You know what I mean?
That's just a wild thing. Here's my clip from when I was 16.
But
See that play?
But you know what I mean? They look at that. So like make the best out of high school, especially if you're an athlete. There's lots of opportunities. I've known a couple guys at my age that are out in the States. Like I said, you know, Dante. Going back to him,
Dante, man. That's
like
crazy.
he's out in the States.
It's
like,
so
there's guys.
crazy to see too. It must be like wow for you because, bro, if you guys grew up together watching him play football, to see where he got now.
Like I said, I played with Dante for I think since 8 to 9 or 10 to 12. I played with him. Like, I played all the way through. I was like WFA, all that. But like, I just tell kids, like, take advantage for what you can give when you have it.
Yeah,
And he clearly fucking did.
Oh yeah, exactly.
He clearly fucking did.
He got the opportunity and he took it, and that's why he's where he is where he is.
Because he
worked hard for where he wanted to get, and that's what kids just have to do in high school.
Yeah.
It's not given. You have to work out. You have to put in the time for what you want out of it. It's not going to be given. Oh, you're going to go on the field and get a scholarship. No, you have to work for that scholarship.
Yeah.
Do you definitely think he has to work harder that he's in the States?
I think 100%. Just because
the talent
over there, it's crazy. They have 3 or 4 of him.
Well,
you know what I mean?
But a lot of fucking people.
But you know what I mean? Like, at his position, everyone is good. There's no bad players, shit players. They're all equal. It's who wants to give the most effort out of that. Who
group. Wants it more?
Who wants it more?
Who's the bigger
much.
dog?
Who's the bigger dog? Who wants it more? Pretty much. So I mean, yeah, that's just my message for high school kids: is just give it all, give it your all, give like no regrets.
Oh yeah, man.
That shit's
You know what I
beautiful
mean?
as fuck, Noah.
Now we got 5 more minutes. So what's your message to drunk kids downtown?
All right. I got a security shift tonight, but
Give
Well,
a
yeah.
warning to the kids for tonight.
But yeah, going off of downtown security, I'd say my message is just like they got to be responsible. Stick with your group down there. That's the main thing.
Yeah,
Is
don't
when-
leave your boy down there.
Don't leave your boys.
Don't leave your boy down there to walk home at 2 a.m.
This has always been my message to people that go party. It's whoever you go with, you leave with.
Yeah, right?
That's
Like, at
just
least
how
check
it
on
goes.
him.
You
Call
check.
him,
You
maybe.
check.
Call him that you're leaving.
Yeah, give him a heads up. Yeah,
Give him a heads up.
Yeah,
you know.
you leave at 1 a.m. and don't say anything.
You know what I mean? I mean, I used to be a bunny hopper too. I'd be at one bar and my boys are like, "Where you at?" I'm like, I'm drunk. I'm gone."
I took off. But you're
took
right.
off.
You got to stick together, bro.
You got to stick together when you're downtown. Windsor's a small city, but there's some people that come down that you really don't want to fuck with.
Like fishnet leather vest guy. Stay away from him, please.
He was at Matt's thing too.
Was he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know it's like,
Oh.
I was like,
No vest though.
oh dog, he had a leather vest on.
No,
Hey,
fishnet, though.
speaking of that, later we're going to Matt's. We
WrestleMania tonight.
WrestleMania, boys. Woo!
John Cena's main event tonight.
Guess,
I'll wear all my John Cena gear.
guess,
I have none.
guess what we picked up yesterday.
What'd you pick up?
We're gonna have a volcano at the party.
Oh,
Dude, they used to have those at higher limits.
yeah.
Hell yeah.
Those things are fucking sick.
Oh, dog, they knock you on your fucking bum.
Oh,
man.
They knock you on.
How
your
much did that
bum.
cost you?
Honestly, we got a good deal and it was like $200.
Not fucking.
That is fucking not bad at all.
Back in the day when I used to do
They were like
illicit
4 or 5.
substances.
They're $400 or
I wanted to,
$500.
I wanted to
$500.
buy one for the garage. I'm like, bro, $500.
$500.
I can barely put $100 together for a fucking ounce. I can't spend that much.
Crazy.
That shit's wild, dog. But let's wrap this shit up. Let's go watch WrestleMania.
It's been a fucking pleasure, man.
Yeah,
It has
no,
been a
always good
pleasure.
to
Thank
see
you,
you.
boys.
Yeah, no,
Like I
this is
said,
fun as fuck.
It
dude.
was
Yeah.
fun as shit, bro.
I'm so glad I finally got you on here, bro.
I know, bro. I know I canceled a couple times, but I mean, like I said, I'm a people's person, bro.
Yeah.
I love talking. I love giving advice that I can give.
I honestly,
Like-
bro, I honestly think it was good. I think the advice that you give, I hope people listen to this and like get something
Yeah.
out of it to
Oh,
see
yeah.
like where you've come and like how far you gotten. Like I seriously think that's so important, man. And I really do hope that someone listens to this and like gets something out of it. But again, bro, I appreciate you.
I appreciate you guys. Thank you for having me.
Thanks, bro.
Absolutely.
All right,
Peace
we're
out,
out of here.
y'all.
Goodbye, everyone.
Just received in our newspaper.